This ground is taking on a magnificent new look with construction of the new stands underway. Of course, we've had the lights now for some time and they're proving really successful. And it's a great atmosphere down there at Simmons Stadium at night time as the Cats have another home game, this time against the Suns. But first up, let's have a look at the Geelong side because there is big news here. Henderson and Buse on Thursday night came into the side at the expense of Ruggles and Gregson, but two late changes. Stanley, we understand, is suffering an illness, and Mackie, I don't know whether it's got anything to do with his age, but dear old general soreness has struck already. And Vardy and Lang come in as their late replacement. So two big changes as far as Geelong is concerned. As far as the Suns, who are currently in 8th spot, are concerned at 3-2. At the selection table, Davis, Prestia, a good in, Shade and Willis come into the side. Riscatelli and Sard both out injured, and Russell and Archie were both omitted. So the Cats will go into this game as favourites, there's no doubt about that. A light breeze, it would appear, blowing across the ground at Simmons Stadium, so that would suggest that a lot of the game might be played on one side of the ground. But it's still going to be a stern test for the young Suns, for Gary Ablett coming home, and look at that. Right next to Patrick Dangerfield is the little master. Is he going to stay there? When are we going to see Selwood? Let's find out right now.
Curry, of course, the former Roo. In the middle they go. Curry wins it down pretty comfortably in the end. Selwood and Ablett, two former teammates, battle it out. Who's going to win it? Ablett's handball went nowhere in particular. Right, here's Selwood again. So now some control as they just peel off and buy a bit of time. Motlop's kick is good to Cockatoo. Guthrie now looks to send it wide, straightens and comes corridor. Good decision by him, although outnumbered here are the Cats. Prestia overran the footy. There's Vardy, a late inclusion here. Blitzarves, little handball Cockatoo. Once again backwards to Motlop. Kick needs to be good. Harbrow is there. McCarthy's also there. Didn't want his teammate to have a piece of it, and we'll have a ball up as it looks like McCarthy lying on the ground behind the play there.
Yeah, let's have a look at Lincoln McCarthy. He might have just copped a bit of a backhander, I think. Oh, no, it was a hip.
He's hurt here, guys. I think the umpire's going to stop play because the doctors are concerned about his head.
Yeah, that's definitely a look at concussion. So now what the doctors will do here, first thing they'll do is look at the replay of that, Gus, and decide whether there is contact.
And they'll be concerned because that hip bone is probably just about the hardest bone in the body, and he appears to be shaken. So keep update on that. Selwood drives them inside 50. Mantle's in great form last week, kicked 3 goals to Caddy, to Dangerfield. He's always in great form. And Danger's left footer couldn't quite get the purchase on it that he wanted.
How good is it when you look down there, it's McCarthy going off to be assessed. You look at the centre of the ground, they had Dangerfield, Selwood and Guthrie in the middle, and Guthrie is really developing now as a midfielder.
Not a good sign that he looked to have a sore neck there as well. Little snap around, and Geelong have kicked the first, and it's Cockatoo.
Nice snap from Cockatoo, and that's what Geelong is so good at this year. They're very good at scoring from forward half stoppages, and terrific snap from Cockatoo, who's developing into a player, up to 15 games now in his second season. They're really good at this, the Cats, at scoring from forward half stoppages, and that was just an opportunist snap around the corner, nearly hit the post. He's pretty happy, Cockatoo. Good start for the Cats.
He played 11 games last year in his debut season, the Kai Cockatoo, and just seeing there he is again, getting better and better. He's a powerful unit, tried to get his way out of an impossible situation there. Ablett drives the Suns forward. Buse overran it. Now Tookmiller gets an opportunity. One-on-one in the goal square. Lynch was held on to. Free kick against Lonergan.
Early hold.
He had the whole 50 to himself there, Lynch, to work into. It was a really good setup. He remained deep in the goal square, and even a defender of the quality of Lonergan can't stop that. That's just too hard when you've got that much space to move into.
Yeah, and he made Lonergan a bit nervous here. He kicked 4 goals round 1, 5 round 2, 4 the next round, 5 the next round, 4. And can he kick the first one for the Suns tonight? He can. Tom Lynch, he is leading the Coleman medal race.
Yeah, it looks like they're really going to try and isolate him deep tonight, and he's got all the tools. He's quick. He's a terrific mark. And Tommy Lonigan is going to have his hands full down there tonight. He's a gun defender, Lonigan. He's been shutting them down for years. But this guy here is at the peak of his powers at the moment. Tommy Lynch, looking forward to that battle tonight.
Beautiful set shot for goal by Tom Lynch, and that's where you want to be kicking them from here tonight, with the wind right behind him. That's the attacking side of the ground with the stand missing. Lincoln McCarthy's headed down to the rooms. He's starting the concussion protocol, going through all the tests, so probably 20 minutes off to be assessed.
Brilliant smother by Smith on Selwood. Enright putting his teammate Taylor under real pressure, Toot Miller pressure. And the ball up centre half forward. Gold Coast already tackling hard, 5-1 on the tackles. Duncan, Motlop, inching kick to Lang, who marks under some Kolajasny pressure. Ran through the mark, so I think it was Sexton that ran through the mark. So thus the 50. In that 10-metre protected area. So now Lang, just a short little ball here as well presented to Mitch Duncan. A lot of players inside 50 here, so he just pops it up and gives them a chance in the air. Long ball. Up goes Vardy. Cockatoo comes to ground and will throw it in.
That was a good kick to Vardy there. He just couldn't quite release off his direct opponent. Could only get the one hand up, but it was a really nice kick to his advantage then.
So Curry, the former Kangaroo, played against his old side last week. Daniel Curry won the hit out. Or Dangerfield always looks like he might explode away with a footy. Kick from Lonigan around the body. Hasn't cleared the zone. Menzel picks it up. One-step kick for goal. Just dragged it across the face. And he'll be a bit disappointed with that, Menzel.
He's getting plenty of the footy. He's been in good form.
He's only kicked the 4 goals so far, but that's his 16th shot at goal this season. So certainly getting a heap of shots. Just needs to improve that accuracy a little bit, and he'll start taking games apart.
Yeah, he has been a little untidy in front of goal.
He's been averaging 9 score involvements, so he's playing that link-up role and getting involved in things.
Vardy to Blitzarves. Long ball. Up they fly. Off hands, Ablett, Cockatoo.
There's someone down there.
Yep, there is. Lemons now. It's another Geelong player down. They've already got McCarthy with a suspected concussion, Lingy.
It's Paddy Dangerfield too, BT, the one they certainly don't want going down, and just getting checked out now. A knock as well.
And he's holding that right shoulder. And this is not the start that Geelong had hoped, medically anyway. And just checking the face as well.
Checking his cheekbone there.
Checking his jaw as well, Richo, so you're right. Oh. There it is, the accidental knee to the head of Dangerfield.
Yeah, that wouldn't have tickled that one.
Lang, Prestia involving himself back into the side for Gold Coast this week.
There's the good news, BT, is that he stayed out on the ground, Paddy Dangerfield. Have a look at that. That was Henry Shade who went up. Genuine knee to the cheekbone. And this game takes some courage to play, and he's still out there. Great news that is. Pushing the back, I think. Ryan Davis is going to get the free kick. Mature age recruit. Played for the West Coast Eagles back in 2008, 2009, and played the first 4 games of this year. Missed last week with a bit of an injury. That kick wasn't well directed, and Jed Hughes back in the side. Took a good defensive mark.
Yeah, Geelong had numbers back there. Just a poor kick. You've got to at least get a contest inside 50, get it to ground level and go to work.
Menzel thought about Selwood, realised he couldn't get the handball there, so he had a go of it. Now Curry able to park himself in the right spot. Here's their kicker, designated off half-back. McKenzie started it all. Once again, an opportunity to go forward for Davis. Good ball, hands to Martin. Good, promising build-up, comes back to Davis. High footy, vacant goal square, getting back the Cats in numbers, and one of those is Hughes.
Hold there.
The thing that really frustrates coaches, I think, is getting outmarked in your forward line. You just really want your forwards to find a way to get a hand on it, bring it to ground, get a second look at it. Here's Jimmy Bartell now, all his experience. Had so many victories down here, Jimmy Bartell. Now Henderson, he's gang tackled.
So Danger is
1 metre ruck.
the deepest forward at the moment, so hasn't come back on ball since he got that knock to the cheekbone.
Or taken high, forcing his way through blitz halves, I think.
Right there. Straight away.
No, in fact, it was Mitch Duncan. Put his head over the footy and one good contested possession. The defence is pretty organised at the moment, Gold Coast. There's not a lot of free movement early days here. So Motlop, that was the best option that he had long down the line. Mackenzie, Danger's back up and running. Straight back involved, and he's lost none of his early touch. So the handball just went a little astray. Lonergan involved there for the Gold Coast Suns as Danger makes his way back down into the forward line.
What a weapon when he can go and play as a forward as he is at the moment, Paddy Dangerfield.
Indeed it is. Third man up was Matty Rosa. Sexton now to run, driving kick. Lynch the target. Double grab. Got it. Probably within his range too, I would have thought.
Stay there.
Just looks so confident now, doesn't he, when he goes at the football. Tom Lynch, he's just growing in stature every week.
His eyes are darting around here. Probably not incredibly confident with the distance.
He will be kicking into whatever breeze there is, BT. A little bit of breeze going towards the other end of the ground.
Half a metre.
He'll have to kick it just outside the 50 as well. So this will take some hoist to the footy. Offline. Wright trying to compete with Smith behind there. Smith, little handball to Enright. Enright's kick, not what it should have been. It was under pressure, admittedly. Now Rosa will get a look.
5 metres. PQ,
So
you're
this
on your
is
line, Matt.
probably a little too far out to kick it around the corner.
It's going to be a pretty tough kick, this one, BT. You see the flags behind the goals, that breeze that Lingy is talking about.
Almost got to aim it at the behind post, or
You reckon left-hand behind post, Bristol?
maybe just on the right-hand side of that, but
Okay.
it's tough to do mentally. Kick goes there, and there he is. He's put it right where I thought it should have gone, and it didn't move at all. So,
Yeah, I think it didn't get up high enough for the breeze to take effect then, that kick.
There is Corey Enright with the footy in hand, averaging 25.5 disposals a game. The veteran, his standards are just
keep going on forever.
He's a superstar, isn't he? Pretty good start here for the Gold Coast Suns, though. They don't look like they're overawed by this big challenge of beating Geelong at Geelong.
Yeah, right in the contest.
There's Kolajasny, the twin brothers playing against each other for the first time in an AFL match. Dangerfield, Caddy, Menzel in a confined situation. Now down the line, Selwood's in this marking contest, and what a brilliant mark over the first game of Willis. And now they're away. Duncan spreads forward. He can line it up from 50, spearing ball, and Mitch Duncan kicks the Cats' second goal.
Nice running goal from Mitch Duncan, but thank you, Captain. Takes a contested mark on the wing and just got the ball moving quickly. Gee, it's a weapon when you can have Selwood and Dangerfield going forward and taking contested marks like that. He's come from the ground now, Selwood, but made something out of nothing, which just opened it all up, and Mitch Duncan finishes off the work.
The ability to win a 50-50 ball is just so important in modern footy. Joel Selwood, the skipper, strong contested mark, and then the quick play. And it meant that Mitch Duncan could lead the contest with a lot of confidence and got forward and kicked that goal. That was the Joel Selwood goal, though.
And he saw it immediately, Lingy, the moment Mitch had split from the pack. Well said. There's Caddy. They go again. Vardy run down here on this occasion by Grant.
That's the mark.
So Jared Grant, high footy down the line, and probably no need to punch away there. Kolajasny was a little bit concerned about what was coming from behind, so he didn't want to take the risk.
Yeah, the Gold Coast players probably having a word to him there. Yeah, probably should have marked it, but only a young player.
Seeing right into the ruck now for Gold Coast.
Kicked 3 goals last week, right?
Yep. Hall, here's Davis. High centering ball. Lynch the target. He was held again by Lonergan.
He's nervous. He's nervous around Tommy Lynch at the moment, Lonergan. a bit worried about his height and reach. He didn't want him to jump at the football and just held him down. It wasn't a big hold, but it was enough.
Definitely retarded him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He got spun around. He just lost sight of the ball there, Lonergan, and forced him to hold on to Lynch. He'll line up for his second.
Probably if he was watching the ball for the entire time, he might have got away with it. So Lynch now, you can see that just about point-blank range there. No problems at all. Couple of goals each here.
Two early goals for Tommy Lynch, continuing his stellar start to this season. The Suns are right in this contest. It's been a good start by them. Coming away from home, down here to Geelong. Not many teams have won down here over the last decade. Haven't had anywhere near the disposals of the Cats.
So 24 goals for the year now for Tom Lynch, round 6. 22 of those goals have been from set shots, and he's kicked the first 2 of the night for the Gold Coast Suns. He is some sort of player. They get a chance here again. In fact, the free kick's going to go the other way. It's going to go to Paddy Dangerfield, so that is unfortunate for the Suns. They were away deep inside 50. All gone Danger's way so far in the game. He decides to just launch it. Sam Dade, a double fist, front and centre pick up. This is the first game of Willis. He did really well. Mackenzie Willis. First possession in AFL footy for the young man.
Yeah, Rocket said he was a goer in his interview with Lingy before the game.
Shade, a little nervous moment for him under pressure. Hardbrow, more experience, was able to clean it up. Took Miller's kick down the line, and Harry Taylor did what he's done so well.
Just give him the footy now, it's 50.
Their press is really in good shape at the moment, Geelong.
Pretty simple instructions there from the umpire. Give it or it's 50.
You've got to start behind.
Gee, that's a little pedantic.
Yeah, they're winning time in forward half by plus 10 minutes a game so far this year. So that press is really working. It's because of players like Taylor.
Long ball here, up they fly. From behind was Caddy trying to get a little lift. Harbrow been pretty good on that last line there so far. Here's the Ablett ball into Hall. They need his run tonight. Been impressive this year. Little one, Grant backpedaling here. Loses a bit of ground, and Harbrow's kick out wide is not good. And they cough it up here to Enright, who, by the way, is playing game 3-14 tonight. Moves past Terry Danaher, Roger Merritt and Tony Shaw on the all-time list of games played.
Short one to Selwood. Hardly trained at all in the summer, Joel Selwood. He actually came into the season with no preparation at all, and
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
hasn't missed a beat, the champ. He's been able to work it from one end of the ground to the other. The man we speak of links up again just with pure hard running. Duncan drew a handball to top cockatoo, sold him into a fair bit of trouble, and then Hawkins dropped one. Miller came in and he couldn't quite keep it in, or it might have come off his shin out of bounds on the forward. It has, so free kick to big Tom Hawkins.
Yeah, a little clumsy Miller there. So Tommy Hawkins, short ball, finds Guthrie. Now, I would think Lingy here with the aid of the breeze over the right shoulder. Now, he's walked off the mark accidentally here, so the umpire has rightly called play on. Selwood says to the umpire, I am going for goal, give me the full 30.
Just a metre. Joel.
And the breeze will be coming over his right shoulder.
He looked confident. From the moment he took the mark, he indicated he was going to have a shot then, Joel Selwood.
Let's ride this one home with him. Selwood can see the big screen and time ticking down. Starts his approach from just outside 50 and pulls it to the left, searching for the journey.
Geelong at the moment just absolutely dominating in the efficiency of their kicking and possession. They're going at 77% kicking efficiency, which is quite high. Gold Coast going at 41%, so they can just get absolutely no fluency in their play going. They can't even control the footy, and little kicks like that are just missing too often.
Yeah, Hall did a great job to clean it up, Lingy. And now Henderson, who was managed last week and missed the big win that they had over at Port Adelaide. Tom Hawkins gets involved with a good mark.
Yeah, had a big mismatch there in size and weight there. Tom Hawkins made the most of it.
Short one that he likes from Motlop, just the required journey for.
They've been hot on that too, haven't they, the last few weeks, the 15 metre?
Not so much this round, though. Back to perhaps what it has been for a while. So Stevie Motlop, talented young man that he is, going to go back and have a shot. Career best second placing in Geelong's best and fairest last year, Stevie Motlop. It's one that you would back him into kick. He makes no mistake. Goal to Motlop.
Nice finish from Motlop and a nice pass from Tom Hawkins. It's always going to be a tough kick for Tommy out in that pocket. And a good finish there. Dan Menzel's getting involved. He's had 7 disposals and just getting a really good run at it now, Dan Menzel, and it's great to see him out there after all the issues he's had with his knees.
Caught Ablett off guard here. Ablett drops his mouth guard here momentarily. He recovers it. Oh no, he's had plenty of time. You can see he's got it in his hand now, whacked it back in his mouth there, and just in that split second, bang, Motlop was all he needed to get away. Out of the middle, Curry. Ablett involved as well. Little handball. High ball from Hall. Sexton in front, couldn't hold the mark. Off hands here, front and centre. Couldn't quite win the footy on that occasion. Lonigan, now Geelong. Try to work it off half-back. Here's Martin, steps around one. Got it to Rosa. And it'll be a Geelong free here.
Yeah, BT, Lincoln McCarthy is back on the ground, so he's obviously passed the concussion test that he had with the doc down in the rooms. Good to see him back out there.
Kolajasny.
There he is.
Yep. Right on call. 7 minutes remaining, so it must have just expired that 20. So McCarthy long here, another free for a hold. This time Gold Coast way. I think it'll go to Kolajasny.
Against Kirsten there in the marking contest.
This is Cade Kolajasny for the Suns. He was runner-up in their best and fairest last year, and a tough year. Not the way Lynch pushes up the ground. He always gives them an outlet. Here he is again.
Big work rate, hasn't he?
Does it all, Tom Lynch. Oh. Free kick going the way of the Cats, I think. Here it is, and blitz halves. So just dropped it on.
They're just struggling to exit that back 50 at the moment, the Gold Coast Suns. They're just going long down the line. That really plays in to this Geelong press. They're so efficient at it.
So the blitz, I think, shaping these, just going to pop it up to the dangerous spot. Where's Hawkins? Zach Smith down there, Dangerfield as well. There's some options everywhere. The smother landed in the lap of Kirsten. Kirsten picked it up, kicked a goal. We're going to have a score review here, I think.
Maybe a smother does. Maybe not. So that's goal umpire Chris Upton there. He's one of the very best we've got, Das.
So initially, the goal umpire signalling touched. Now we're reviewing whether it was, and
hard to say from that one. A little bit too blurry to really make out if it's been touched there.
My suspicion is that it hasn't been touched.
Are they going to be able to overrule it from that vision, though?
That's always the thing, isn't it? How can you categorically say that it hasn't? We've got a goal umpire who's 10 metres away from that position, Bristol, who thinks it has been touched.
Yeah. Don't think you can overrule it from that vision. Interesting always to watch the players whether they argue immediately.
Is that finger move there?
That's a good angle, that one.
Review complete. The score is a goal. Ball wasn't touched.
Overruled.
I thought his little finger moved then. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Kirsten's celebrating, but on that last replay that we saw, I thought that maybe I saw a finger.
I reckon that replay.
Yeah.
I reckon that replay came too late.
Yeah, they've made their mind up, haven't
Yes,
they?
I reckon they'd already made their mind up before they realised that replay was there.
I think you're right, Brian. So I think the wrong decision may have been made here.
I'm really fascinated by the score review at the moment. So the goal umpire, who is 10 metres away directly in front, says, I think that ball has been touched.
Look at that there, Darcy's finger moves.
But what I can't understand, Richo, is how you can categorically overrule a decision from that angle. It may not have been touched, but how can you 100% say that's the case? question marks over the score review for me, BT.
Okay, well, it goes high again. A little controversy here early on. Opportunity here now. Melchesky caught one high. Advantage paid. Melchesky's down. I think it's Selwood trying to help him back to his feet. And he gets up, so he's okay. Good news here. Ball comes. Presti around the corner. Got one bouncing towards the goal square. Guthrie pushes it over the line. Melchesky's okay.
Don't want to harp on it, but that was touch. That was the wrong decision. Imagine if this game...
I think what happened there, Joe, for me, that replay came really late, and the guy making the decision in the box had seen that too late. I reckon he'd already made the decision and hadn't seen that properly.
I'd like to go back and revisit what the score review actually, the ruling is. Does it have to be 100% categorical, or are they just their best educated guess as well? Because at the moment, it's interesting.
The human meatball there. Pressed here, getting it out wide to Melchesky. And Gold Coast, as you've said a couple of times, gents, are looking on here at the moment. And here comes a really good lead from Clay Cameron.
They look all right once they get inside forward 50, the Gold Coast Suns. They've just had a little bit of trouble with their ball movement from half back. But this was a good inside 50. Look at that space open up, and that kick is perfect.
So Cameron, this is a tough kick, wind blowing from his right to left. You can see the flags top right there. And he comes, kick of only 30 metres. Does he keep it low? No, he sends it high, drags across in the wind. A very nicely placed kick.
Yeah, as BT called, a lovely kick and a nice inside 50 entry, perfectly weighted pass into space. And once they get in there, they're looking pretty efficient. They've only had 8 entries, but, you know, they're scoring 50% of the time that they go in, the Gold Coast Suns. A nice finish from Cameron.
Good, strong lead and mark here by Clay Cameron. But again, as you see him take the mark, it's on Tom Lonergan. I think they're struggling to get their matchups right down back at the moment. Lonergan been worried a couple of times with Tom Lynch forward, and now another goal by Cameron. He's come to the bench, just juggling around who they want matched up on who down there, the Cats.
Yeah, nice work. We've got a good contest on our hands here down at Skilled Stadium. Jake Kolajasny out to Zach Smith. Played 21 games in the Gold Coast Suns first year. Zach Smith played really well, and then just a full 12 months of the knee reconstruction. Now he's at the Cats, out the back, Menzel.
Yeah, Harry Taylor is now on Tommy Lynch in the centre of the ground. Tough matchup, Lynch, because he's got everything.
So Cats in attack, it's Curry. Smith trying to burst his way through Dangerfield. Sheer strength. He managed to get boot to ball, but he couldn't get it online, Richo.
They're dangerous. They're really dangerous around those forward half stoppages. When you've got players like Dangerfield who can really burst clear.
He's the raging ball, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
And that one's out of bounds. They were under pressure from the moment the umpire called play on there. Never regained their composure. Youngster would be happy to throw that back.
Don't hold it.
You see so many out on the fulls here at this ground, BT, on that point that we made earlier. It's a narrow ground, and teams that aren't used to playing here just kick the ball out on the full very often.
Yeah, good point, Lingy. High ball up here. Over the back, Motlop again. Motlop kicks his second goal.
There's Stevie Motlop, 2 goals, and the Cats, they're really efficient inside 50 as well tonight. 12 entries, 8 scoring shots. So both teams look likely to score when they can get it inside 50 tonight. It's just that ball movement through the middle of the ground that the Cats are just using it that little bit better than the Gold Coast Suns, and it's probably the reason they got the 14-point lead.
So a couple of goals here to Stevie Motlop.
Can't let it get over the back like that. As a defender, you've got to kill that ball. He didn't. It gets over the back, and that's a present for Motlop.
Yeah, a bit too easy in the end, that one. Here comes Selwood. Willing his way into the contest. Ablett says, I can have a piece of this one, and He broke it up nicely to Sexton. Lynch has got a one-on-one chance with Harry Taylor. His hands are outstanding. Well played, Taylor. Grant, the former Bulldog, got involved. Back to Lonigan. Wanted Lynch. Kick was off the line a little bit. Now he's got to work really hard. Picked it up really nicely off his toes. And in the end, they'll just reset here with the boundary throwing. So they've decided, as you said, Richo, that Harry Taylor is the man for the job. Two-time All-Australian. Curry's been pretty good in the ruck contest. Ablett back now to Lonigan. Kolajasny, chance for Rosa. Played in the grand final West Coast last year. And he's dragged that one across the face of goal.
No surprise. Gary Ablett, the leading possession player on the ground. He's had 10 touches so far, Gaz.
Not bad for a guy that was under some doubt.
He's averaging 29 touches again this year. And some would say not at his best yet.
Here he's again close to this ball. Didn't get hold of it on that occasion.
Only played 6 games last year, so
Mr. Rose, a good mark. Bartel
just working his way back into his best form still, Gaz.
Here's Vardy. You heard Chris Scott say in the pre-game today that he really was looking forward to getting this man back in the side, just to get him some real full-on practice at this elite level. Here's Taylor. Bartel again, so just trying to create a bit of space between the defenders here at the moment. The Cats. Duncan. Short ball. Time ticking down to 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Duncan with a low ball. Beautiful kick it was. Really nice done. So Geelong just thinking their way through here at the moment, step by step, not taking any unnecessary risks. And looking for the opportunity. Lingy said if you're going to go corridor here, you have to go quick. Otherwise, it's too late. It'll be blocked up. And now the turnover here. Melcheski involved. Fired the handball there. Guthrie in the end to Lang. Lang through a little bit of traffic. Nice ball. Presenting up high as Hawkins. Down to a minute and a half in the quarter. And they've taken a minute to get from fullback to here.
Yeah, and they haven't got a tall target down the line at the moment. That's probably why he's waiting.
Dangerfield and Ablett. What about the pedigree with those two in a one-on-one? And Danger comes up with a footy, bursts clear of the pack, kicks it to another one-on-one Curry. And also Vardy, the two ruckmen. Look at the recovery of Vardy. He's a capable 40. He said, I'll take on Big Dan Curry. Well done, Curry. Applied the tackle. Selwood, has he kept it in? I think he has. Lang couldn't quite get boot to ball and a rush behind in the end, Richo.
Yeah, you could just see Vardy just a little bit rusty there in that marking contest, still working his way back into form, and he had a perfect position there and just didn't time his release properly in the marking contest.
So Stanley out of the side, that's why Vardy is there, and he is ill, Stanley. And Mackie also out, but some saying just as a result, and you heard Chris Scott say pre-game tonight that he's managing Mackie. Here they go again, Davis.
Well, they're out here.
Yeah, ball back inside, beautiful kick to Cameron. Over the head, couldn't get hold of it. Here comes Harry Taylor, got to do it. No Gold Coast there to compete.
I reckon that was the wrong option. Lynch was one out inside 50. I'd be getting it into him.
Hughes' non-preferred left foot kick was an absolute stinker. Really horrible looking thing. Davis thought he had taken the ball out, and he has. So 10 seconds remaining. He won't be proud of this one.
Look at that kick there. You saw the top of the screen there. Lynch was running back into space. He had the whole 50 to himself. I reckon I'd be getting it into him.
Great effort by McCarthy to get there. Here he is on call. Bartel. Motlop been a significant player in this opening quarter. Blitzarves trying to get Bartel going. So quarter time here. Tight contest. Two sides still feeling each other out. And not much in it at all. Geelong at the quarter-time break by 14. 5-4-34. Gold Coast 3-2-20.
You can't give
Geelong by 14 points, that man there. Motlop has kicked 2 of Geelong's 5 goals in this opening quarter. Gary Ablett has sizzled again. 11 first quarter possessions, not bad. What about the kicking efficiency of these mobs, Lingy, tonight?
Well, it's a big factor tonight, BT. When you win and you've kicked well in a game of footy, you'd be working at around about 65% kicking efficiency. Right now, the Gold Coast Suns are going at 49%, which is really bad. It's bad kicking. Geelong's pressure's been very good. Geelong, on the other hand, they're going at 82% efficiency, so they are just completely dominating that stat. They're able to control the footy, move the ball down the ground, and that's how they're eventually getting shots at goal. Gold Coast, on the other hand, just too many turnovers, keep giving it back to the Cats. The few times that they have got it inside 50, they've looked okay, but they've got to fix up that kicking, got to fix up that efficiency, otherwise Geelong will just go away with this one.
Yeah, good call, Lingy, all over, and it's such an important part of the game these days that Richo having good users of the footy, particularly at half-back where they've had real concerns.
Yeah, they have, and that's probably reflective of the mark numbers. I mean, Geelong have taken 34 marks, Gold Coast only 14, and it's because they can't hit a target. When they have got it into their forward half of the ground, they look reasonably dangerous because of that man there, Tommy Lynch, inside forward 50, but just their ball movement. And Geelong's press is really good. They're pressing right down when they do get it in 50, and the Suns just haven't been able to exit out of there at all. They're just kicking long down the line, and that plays into the hands of Henderson and Taylor and Lonigan and these type of guys.
Maybe a please explain there from the AFL to Chris Scott. He kept them in a long time in that huddle where at least a minute over ball being bounced to us. So
we might have to get the Geelong or Suns doc up here to give you a concussion test, yes. Brian. You nearly knocked yourself out there in the quarter-time break in the temporary box here.
He responded pretty well, though, Richo. He took it all in his stride.
It was a rather large steel girder.
It's a rather large melon that collided with it as well. We're back in the second quarter, and Ablett has had the most possessions in the game. 11 in the first quarter. Blitzarves goes third man up more than any other player in the competition. Prester in there low and hard. He won't be coming out.
So Prester, you're also up there in terms of possessions in that first quarter, just a couple behind Ablett. So a welcome return into the side for Dion. So it's a real game of chess, this one here at the moment.
Guthrie went and got it. Took a long time to get rid of it. It was great composure, actually. Slung in the tackle, still had the awareness to handball out the back door and not cough the footy up. Menzel, what about that deft little tap there to Selwood? It was quite brilliant. McCarthy now a little chisser. The kick was good. What a touch from Menzel. Kirsten to Motlop. Motlop wasn't looking, unfortunately for him. Through come Day with all the use of his body there. Sizzling play from the Cats. Didn't quite come off in the end.
Yeah, Menzel, 2 taps in that passage of play. He doesn't get a stat for either of those, but he knew exactly what he was doing in both of these occasions, and there's that handball that went astray.
Love seeing Menzel out there. He kicked 3 goals last week, 4 knee reconstructions. It's one of the great stories of courage in the game. Through the legs of Harry Taylor. He was trying to take his man off it. Now Jake Kolodjasny, a little fumble, hard-footed to be won. Trying to fight his way out. Bartelli did a brilliant job, got it out to Blitzarves in the end. Now Guthrie on the boundary line. McCarthy a little stumble, and then one-on-one for Day, and coming across the front was nearly cursed, and Selwood's handball was outstanding. Menzel, he won't miss from there. First goal of the second quarter to Menzel.
He's really building now. Menzel got confidence back in his body.
A bit of an injury here too to McKenzie.
Yeah, they're calling
knee, or is it shoulder?
They're calling to the bench down there, so his teammates think he's in a bit of trouble. Let's hope he's okay.
They're actually calling for the stretcher here. So in the break there, McKenzie went down and looked very uncomfortable. Leg, perhaps lower leg, Richo, and knee down to ankle somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look at the replay in that contest there in the pocket. But yeah, it looks like he's got an issue with his lower part of his left leg there. And he's been in a wars. He had the surgery on his nose 3 or 4 weeks ago.
A couple of stitches put in that. High ball, up they fly here. So McKenzie still making his way off the ground here. Yet to get off. Here's a quick one out by Hall, trying to gain some ground there. I think it was Martin trying to bash and bully his way through. Now an opportunity for Day. Beautiful linking handball to Lonigan, who's been a significant player in this game so far. Wright couldn't get it in the jukes. Followed up here, Lonigan. Thought about Wright, said, no, go back, buy a little bit of time, and he does. So Gold Coast, desperate need of a goal here. They go forward, high ball on the head of Lynch. Off hands Hall, spun the handball out. Good play here from Gold Coast. Another deep ball inside 50. Enright did well not to let his man Grant loose there. Sexton gathers, back to Grant. Grant fast hands Sexton. Oh, beautifully manicured goal there from Gold Coast. Really well done. As Trent McKenzie receives attention on the ankle down there, Lingy. What do you make of it?
Yeah, we can see from the replay here, just the foot gets caught under his opponent and rolls over, and as soon as he felt it, you can see the pain. Oh, yeah, that's an awkward one. He's in a bit of pain on the bench there, getting checked out by the doctors.
They can normally get those going again, can't they? Restrap it.
Two options, restrap, and if that doesn't succeed, little jab like we saw Sam Wright last night receive, and played the whole of the second half as a result.
He saw during the week, but you can normally get those going for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Jack Revolt, the week before, played with a similar ankle. It almost breathed a sigh of relief, and it's not a knee injury. Selwood, he's been tough and hard as always. Prestia, he's a hard nut too. A little meatball going after it. Hall's in there, fighting hard, carry it.
Thank you.
Joel Selwood, he's entertaining, isn't he? The eyes just roll back in the back of the head, don't they, Joel Selwood? He loves the idea that someone's going to take him on, and Martin tried to, and he got dispossessed. Geelong fans, you can hear they want 50. Not happening. McCarthy gives it to Dangerfield, and why wouldn't you? Danger sends it long. Hawkins in good position. Out the back. It was a chance nearly for Cockatoo. Lemons just wanted to get it out of his area, and then it falls in the lap of the man who sent it there last time, Dangerfield.
Short ball, quick ball to Motlop. Probably within range here, Motlop. Dangerfield wants to go again. Gee, they weren't switched on. Motlop signalling he's going for goal. Dion Prestia says that's the mark right there. Not willing to give an inch here.
I reckon that little bit of breeze, you see the flags there behind the goals, it's almost dropped again, the breeze. So
it has, Richo, dropped right off down here. It's almost non-existent, really light.
So Motlop for his third goal here. He's going to take his best. That's a beautiful kick. Magnificent. They've got the journey. Was it touched on the line? Let's have a listen.
I reckon Curry thinks he got it. I reckon he's going to play a goal here.
It's a goal. Just like to check his touch over the goal line. Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Please check that it wasn't touched.
Review underway.
You're confident, Richo?
I just thought Curry looked pretty confident that he touched it the way he ran off, but I mean that angle there is not going to be able to overrule it, so it'll be a goal.
None of those angles are any good, so unless another angle appears,
you can't overrule
a goal.
that.
Definitely not. Goal umpire was in really good position.
That's where you need the camera in the post.
And they're not at every ground.
They're not, which is strange because they probably should be, shouldn't they?
Review complete. Umpire's call.
So this will be a goal. Motlop's got 3.
This is Stevie Motlop. He's looking at a nice night tonight. 3 goals early in this second quarter. He could have a night out the way he's going, making the most of his opportunities. Just getting away from the Suns a little bit here. This is an important period for them.
Certainly in the contest, the Gold Coast Suns, but you just sit here and feel as though the Cats are going to have the answer on most occasions. Other stages here of the second quarter. Can they get the quick response here, Ablett? It's a man you want with the footy. Had a little fumble, went back and won it again, and strong enough to get boot to ball. Split out the centre. Lonigan's down behind play. Looks really sore. In the meantime, Menzel started superbly. Just to come into the corridor.
Menzel up to 10 now, playing that half-forward role.
The kick, McCarthy had eyes on it. Cockatoo, he's prepared to go back in and win the footy. Ablett working hard defensively on this occasion, and one won't be coming out.
Lonigan okay, up and going, but he did look just a little stunned there momentarily. An accidental Couldn't quite see what he got an accident off.
Poke in the eye might have been, I think.
So Geelong free here. You can just sense that if Menzel plays the rest of this year, by the end of the year, he really might start ripping some games up. He's getting more and more confident every time you see him play, Menzel.
So Cockatoo, as Richo and Lingy alluded to, the wind dropping right off here. And he kicked the first goal of the game. This one from 30 just needs to be inside the left goal post here. Right there with you. Look at those flags. Barely a flutter now. Cockatoo steps the line, magnificently placed. He's got his second.
Big centre break coming up here now for the Gold Coast Suns. The Cats are killing them. 5-1 in the clearances this quarter. They're getting first juice. Going inside forward 50, kicked 3 goals this quarter, the Cats. The Suns have to get something going in the middle with this centre bounce. It's just getting away from them a little bit now. Mackenzie is up and about. It looks like he's going to be able to get back out there. The doc just putting him through a few exercises, but this is big now. 5-1 around the clearances. Got to win this one, the Suns.
Well, it's getting critical at the moment. Hall got boot to ball, picked up by Malcheski. So they will get this one inside 50. There's a beautiful kick of the footy, Nick Malcheski. I'll be heading towards Lynch if he had the footy in hand. It was right in the end who came through. Cameron, nice pick up initially. Guthrie, the defence of the Cats, well organised. Selwood heard a voice. It was Guthrie from behind and lead up target. So Paddy Dangerfield, disposal number 13.
Great support from Guthrie, wasn't it? High footy, they go in once again. Duncan there, McCarthy demanded it back. Now Selwood, look at the follow-up work from Joel Selwood. The kick back into Hawkins, they can go here. Here's Caddy, short ball on the lead, Kirsten. That was a great kick from Joel Selwood. His vision to bring the ball back inboard there on that outer side just set this up, made it a lot easier for the forwards to lead up the middle of the ground. Kirsten now can put some real daylight between the Cats and the Suns.
May making all comers earn it, include his own men. So Kirsten too, searching for his second goal here, basically directly in front. And that one is offline, so a let off there for Gold Coast.
They just cannot maintain possession at all at the moment, the Gold Coast Suns. Haven't taken a mark this quarter. This will be their first mark. If you're not taking any marks, it's pretty hard to link up down the ground and maintain possession, and the Cats are all over them.
They sure are. I think you pointed out their kicking efficiency's been terrible, and again they've turned it over. It's relentless at the moment from the Cats. Bartel sends it forward. McCarthy jumped out of his skin there to have a crack at that one. Rosa. This is Shade, more pressure, well done. Menzel got back in. Kolajasny wrapped up by Hawkins. And no prior opportunity.
Wrapped up straight away. Thank you. Straight back. Hang on now.
See the groundswell of numbers and repeat inside 50s. Really feeling the pressure. Malcheski to Ablett. Look away handball. He sold. London into all sorts of trouble. Brilliant effort from Lemons.
Throw. Scooped it up. Gold Coast free kick.
Great contest there.
He was hard, wasn't he, this young man?
And McCarthy as well, who's already been off the ground with a knock tonight. Still going hard at it, though.
This is Aaron Hall with the footy in hand. He's averaging 33 disposals this year. One of the most improved players in the game.
Goes across the ground. That's spent a long time in the air, allowing Kirsten to get there and upend and force the turnover. You can see the resultant clash with the Gold Coast player on the ground. Hawkins took a little bit too long to dispose of it. Kirsten looking for Duncan, missed him. Can they get on the counter-attack here? Hall went back into traffic. Lemons, cool, nice kick. Here they go, Miller. Back in here to Hall. Now Hall to the middle of the ground, over the head of Sexton. Got to go, Martin. Perhaps shouldn't have waited there. Now Guthrie. Did well, Guthrie. Great composure. Handball to Cockatoo. Cockatoo ball knocked away. Great handball there from Miller on that occasion. Now back in the hands of Grant. 50 metres out. Here comes the opportunity with Lynch. Couldn't hold the mark. Off hands Henderson and the Cats.
Yeah, there's a Gold Coast Sun player in Sam Day, who's down behind play, and he hasn't moved.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. That was that high ball that BT called that hung in the air forever, and I think it was Hawkins in the contest. I reckon he may have got a knee in the back, and he's in a bit of trouble. I think the stretcher's going to be out here.
Yeah, they're honing in on his guts in that area there. They're concerned about the ribs or the back, Richo. You're right.
I reckon Hawkins probably knee in that contest, and he's pretty sore.
Well, that is a really good sign, though, that he's perhaps going to go off under his own steam, and there's a big chance here going forward for Caddy. Drives it long. Hawkins out the back, got rid of his man in front, though. That is a big mark from Nathan Vardy. Such an exciting player.
And that was the direct result, Das, of Sam Day being down and hurt. The Cats is far too tall down that end of the ground. They had the wrong matchups there, the Suns. A lot of smaller blokes got caught on taller ones, and they made the most of it as Sam Day is still being helped off the ground by the Gold Coast staff.
So late inclusion, Nathan Vardy has had to deal with big shoulder injuries, knee reconstruction. Reece Stanley, the late omission, and big chance for Nathan Vardy. Slight angle, and he steers it home. The Cats have kicked 3 in a row. Great to see Nathan Vardy up and running. So high fives all round as Sam Day takes himself off the ground. Let's have a look, Richo.
Yeah, it was when he landed on the ground. It doesn't appear to be anything in that initial contact. It was Kirsten. That's his back when he landed, his hip or back.
It was a heavy landing, there's no question about that.
The landing.
This is a good shot of it right here on the hip, as you say, and the lower back. That seems to be his problem. Looking to regain his composure on the bench there, so that is good news. But it is a 4-goal-to-1 quarter here in favour of the Cats. They have let loose and really started to link things up here once again. Back in the middle they go. Selwood. Handball out. Smith. Wide ball. Lang to Motlop. Motlop's already kicked 3. Brilliant ball. Finds an opportunity with Menzel. Umpire said you're off the mark, so you've got to go. Menzel, low hard ball. Hawkins marks.
7 marks to 3 inside 50 tonight for this quarter to the Cats. They're really causing them some issues now inside 50.
Just there.
Tommy Hawkins lining up. Hasn't kicked a goal tonight. It'll be his first shot on. Passed one off to Motlop in the first quarter that set up a goal for Motlop.
Had a quick peek at the scoreboard then. Saw it was at 9 seconds. He needs to go now, and he is, so he's safe. This is just a magnificent camera angle of this attempt. Tom Hawkins, gee, isn't that good? 4 in a row for the Cats.
That was a beautiful kick from Tom Hawkins. The camera angle, gun barrel straight, that kick.
So 4 in a row. They lead it by 39 points here. They started 14 points in front of the quarter-time break, and they've extended that out now to 39 points, and everyone is getting involved for the Cats.
Here's this kick again. Beautiful kick by Tommy Hawkins, and they're just winning it around the contest, the Cats. When they win the contested footy this year, they generally win games, and they're dominating in this quarter in that area.
It's got the feel about it, hasn't it, now with Dangerfield and Henderson and Zach Smith, Vardy. It's a rebuilt Cats at home. Going to be very hard to beat down. And look at the kick from Cockatoo to Hawkins again. Almost the identical pass to last time. And the big power forward.
They just can't get their hands on the ball, the Gold Coast Suns. Gee, that's the pass you want as a forward, Brian. You would have marked plenty of those in your time coming out on a lead. Brilliant kick. And when you can slide into a low chest mark like this, there's nothing the defenders can do with those ones there. You love that as a leading forward. What a brilliant kick from Cockatoo.
He only scored 1 goal in the past fortnight. Tommy Hawkins gets a chance to kick 2 in the space of 30 seconds. What can the big man do? And just got that one off the side of the boot. Margin out to 40 points.
Yeah, their whole forward group is contributing tonight. Everyone is dangerous down there. Their forward 6, they're all dangerous, and that means the Suns defenders have to be honest There can't be any zoning off going on when everyone's contributing. Well, great even spread.
No secret, sorry, Richo, that this is now slipping away here a little bit from Gold Coast. They need to get cracking. They need to do it very, very quickly. And Menzel has taken a nice mark, and he'll have a relatively easy shot. He just needs to kick it inside. This kick here, being so close and the ball doesn't have a lot of time to bend in the air, Richo, it just means you've got to guide it down perfect and get it off the boot nice and straight, because you won't have the chance to use your natural arc of the footy once it's in the air. So in comes Menzel, only a kick of 20 metres.
It's just the only part of his game at the moment.
Scratchy, isn't it?
It's just not quite right. Everything else is coming together brilliantly for Menzel. Talked about him a bit tonight. He's growing in stature and confidence. He's got a lot of self-belief that he can be a great player even after all the problems he's had with his knees, and that's the last bit of his game to get right at the moment.
This quarter, it's 5 goals, 3 behinds. The Cats, the Gold Coast Suns, having trouble with the scorers at all. Malcheski's tackle was a strong one on Buse, wrapped up. What about this for a stat from Josh Kay, just telling me since 2007, when Lingy and his great team down here got on a run, they've played 69 games, the 70th game tonight. They've won 62 and only lost 7. They win tonight. It's 90% winning percentage down here at Skilled Stadium.
Do you reckon they like coming to the footy here, the Cats fans? You just go home happy, don't you?
You can't believe it. Here's Zach Smith, kick inside 50. They are right on top at the moment. Shade under pressure from Hawkins, did pretty well. Big Tomahawk tried to keep it in the end. Forced over by Lemons.
We've got to remember that obviously May is out injured. Rory Thompson, probably their first 2 selected key backmen. So they are a little bit light on in that back 50 at the moment.
Granted that. Hawkins, having said all that, Geelong are just looking to build their year, and they're doing it slowly but extremely nicely at the moment.
Still only taken 17 marks, the Gold Coast Suns. You can't transport the ball down the ground if you're not taking marks, and they just can't hold on to it. Look at this again.
That kick by Hall, not good. Kirsten has marked it within range. He's thought about the short one of McCarthy. Now, all of his teammates pointing at the goal, saying, don't even think about it.
That was a horrible kick. That was the old Edward Longshank there. Old Shanksy.
Oh, boy. There is Kirsten to make it 5 Geelong goals in a row. That is as straight as you can possibly kick it. 5 in a row for the Cats.
So everyone getting involved in that forward line for Geelong. Menzel has a goal. Motlov's got 3. Cockatoo's got 2. Hawkins has got 1. Vardy's got 1. Kirsten's now got 2. And they are under the pump, the Suns. And they're killing themselves with their kicking tonight. Just giving it back to the Cats. It's getting ugly.
A lot to think about for Rocket at the moment. His side has just had 5 unanswered goals. Shane Kirstenling, he's now kicked 7 goals in the past 3 games. They really have been wanting someone to just help out Tom Hawkins. Is he the answer?
Possibly. I still haven't fully made up my mind, but shows all the attributes. Been in and out of the team with injury so much over the last couple of years. Hasn't had much continuity, but starting to build that now. He's pretty good on the deck and pretty strong in the air as well. If he adds some consistency to his game and gets out there regularly, he could certainly be that second fiddle that Geelong so sorely need.
Harbrow did really well, burst through the pack. They finally get one inside 50 right, cleaned up. Defender in Guthrie. Sexton kicked the last goal and make it 2 now for Sexton against the flow of play. Well done, Alex Sexton. Yeah, good effort from that man on screen. Limited opportunities, and out of that, he's managed to kick 2 goals right against the flow of play. He's had a pretty good year so far, Alex Sexton, averaging 17 disposals and starting to cement himself a permanent spot in the side.
Timely goal here for West Coast. Wright splitting the pack, allowing Sexton to clean up the spilled ball. And he did it nicely. He's kicked both of their goals in the second quarter here. Vardy beautifully down the path of Selwood. Had a little bit of trouble initially getting hold of it. Now he gets it out to Caddy. Good handball, Motlop. Linking play, involved was Koladashny. Now Enright. Corey Enright, just one of the stars of this side, to Motlop, who's playing a beauty tonight. Duncan back to Motlop, loves to carry it by foot. They love him carrying it. Hawkins with quite a brilliant pick-up for the big man. He was just trying to caress the ball over the top there and didn't get enough on it. Now Prestia needs to be clean here in the transfer of play down. Malcheski slightly wrong-footed on his left, but that's a great kick to the lead of the big fella in Wright. The boy out of the Calder Cannons footy factory here, Wright. Looks inside, high footy. Who can jump at that? Harry Taylor went up, lost the Dax. Now Lynch, ground level, pushed over the top of the footy. Wright, Caddy involved. Enright, just great awareness task there by the big fella.
It was just smart, wasn't it? The look away left-hand handball, 30 metres into the arms of Cockatoo. I think it's just a slightly different style than Cats. They seem to be a bit more patient with the footy out of defence. That one turned over, a rare mistake. Tonight, it's not that full-on kamikaze play on that you guys used to play.
No, it seems pretty controlled, still looking to move the ball at all times, but I think it's controlled until they get one out. Good strong grab there by Tom Lonergan coming in over the top. From this position here, I don't think they're prepared to pull the trigger every single time into the middle like in the past you see with Geelong teams. They're controlled, and when they get an opportunity to break a line, then they go as fast as they can.
McCarthy gave a really good contest, and he's copped another whack in the head. The little man, it's been a tough night for him.
He's had 3 or 4 big hits tonight, hasn't he?
He's been down, he's passed the concussion test once and picks himself up again. It was a good ball to Sexton. He's had a good quarter, kicked 2 goals for the Suns. And now Prestia, spearing ball. It's a beautiful pass, right? Maybe needed to get the jukes out there, I think, Richo.
Yeah, man, you've got to take it out in front, because when you allow it to come to your chest, you just bring the defender back into the picture. If you get your jukes out, he marks that. Yep. You know, the defender, Henderson, can't punch that away if you get your arms out in front.
Get the jukes out, righty, soccer off the ground. That was Sexton again, missed.
And even if he does try and punch the ball, he's more than likely going to chop your arms and you get the free kick. So, something to work on there.
I ask you, Lingy, about Geelong's backline. They're managing players, and the thing I've noticed about all of the players they've managed, Enright has missed a week, Henderson's missed a week, Lonergan's missed a week, Mackey's missed tonight, is that they're all defenders. I just wonder, we'll come back to you in a moment, whether they've actually settled on who is their best combination there, whether that's what they're trying to do. Handball out wide. What do you make of that? Because normally it would be the midfielders with the majority of work that would be managed, but it appears it's the defenders.
Yeah, BT, I reckon you're onto something there. In fact, maybe Chris Scott and his coaching staff, not 100% sure what the best back six looks like. A couple of those blokes are older players, so probably happy to manage them at the same time. They lost Jackson Thurlow in the pre-season with a season-ending knee injury. They wanted him as that rebounding defender. They don't have that yet, so I think they're still playing around with how it looks and how it's going to be best going forward.
Well, when it's working at this end like it is tonight, don't worry about it just for the time being. Knocked down here, opportunity, handball from Rosa, out the back door. The youngster, I think it was, Willis. Nice little kick and finds Cameron.
BT, if Bobby Rose or Lee came up to you and said, we're just going to manage you this week, you would have been filthy, wouldn't you? I mean, players now that Chris Scott would have explained it to his group, but I don't reckon you want to be managed as a player.
No managing.
Ball's kicked down the line.
But, I mean, we know what they're doing. They're building a squad now.
Well, I've got a chance here, Richo.
Yeah.
Poor kick from Enright. You almost never say those words. Lynch's handball. Malchessy's got an issue. Enright's going to go back and fix it up. Busy Sexton overran it, and a golden opportunity for the Gold Coast Suns goes begging.
The thing about management, it's not that dissimilar to what they do in soccer in Europe, is it? How they work with a squad of players. They play them all.
And that's what Chris Scott is obviously doing. And you need depth. You need to have, 27, 28 guys who can play at any given time.
So Dangerfield now, back to Menzel, Selwood. The quality involved there, back to Danger again. He just glides across the turf, kicks perfect down there for Zach Smith. Good hands. And the former Gold Coast son, against his old club, will enjoy this opportunity to go back and kick his first goal of the evening.
Yeah, perfect, as you said there. Menzel again, getting involved, linking up. Look at the contested marks. The big boys from the Cats doing it with ease tonight. That was too easy.
Kicked 3 goals in round 1. Zach Smithell in the first quarter against the Hawks. Got his season off to an absolute fly. Just kicked the one since. Steady approach. Aims it at the right post and gave away the goals and never really looked like it.
A good half of footy by the Cats. Dominating possession. 209 disposals to 141. Look at that. Says a bit about how they've controlled the ball tonight.
Cade Kolajasny's kick. It's a searching one for Curry. From the Kangaroo. Hall's been winning the footy well again. Pressure from Selwood was good. Now Jack Martin has to run really hard the other way. Looks up, he wants an option. Well played. Just really well.
Left it up to too few so far tonight, the Gold Coast Suns. There's a lot of guys not getting involved at all tonight.
So Rosa combining there with Hall, and now it's Wright who drives a big long one to the goal square, and Harry Taylor, the All-Australian, too good.
And the kick is too good as well. Selwood awaits the arrival. No problems at all. So it's been a 6-goal to 2-quarter.
There are 12 Suns players with 5 or less disposals, and only 4 for Geelong. So they're all getting involved. Geelong, it's a team effort tonight.
Gary Ablett with only 4 in this quarter as well.
He's been shut out of it.
Handball there from Day. Here's Martin doing some of his work in heavy traffic. Lang says, no, not on my watch, you won't. And with just 15 seconds to go in this half, you would think it's going to be pretty difficult for anyone to add to the scoreboard from here. So a really good first half from the Cats on their home turf here at Simmons Stadium. Fighting for the footy here. Melcheski comes out with it. Kick went nowhere. Vardy head over the footy. Dangerfield eventually with the extraction. But it is at a comfortable half-time lead here for the Cats. There's no...
Yes, comfortable at half-time. 19 scoring shots to 8 really does tell a story. And the Cats getting 6 goals and restricting their opposition to just 2 in that second quarter. So at the long break, it is Geelong leading the Suns by 41 points. After the break, back to check on other games as well. And a look ahead too to Monday night, of course, a big night starting off with 360. When the coaches will be in to join Gerard and Mark Robertson. I speak of Nathan Buckley and Chris Scott. If his Cats can continue to do the right thing. And then, of course, on the couch and the AFL's Mark Evans will be a very interesting guest on the couch on Monday night. It's turning into a great sight now, Simmons Stadium down there in Geelong, and well, they're doing everything right at the moment as Nakai Cockatoo got the early goal and set Geelong on their way. And as I said before, they've opened up a 41-point lead at the long break. As we check the score combo for you now, they've been most impressive, particularly in the second half, where they kicked 6 goals to 2. And at halftime, it's 11-8-74 to the Suns, 5-3-33. Motlop with 3, Cockatoo and Kirsten each with 2. Lynch and Sexton each multiple scorers for the Suns. Selwood, Dangerfield and Caddy, the old firm doing it there. And of course, Hall. Ablett had a great first quarter, quieter in the second with just 4 disposals, and Malcheski. As we have a look at some of the highlights now from Simmons Stadium. Well, he was back on his old stomping ground, wasn't he, Gary Ablett Jr.? But it was Nakai Cockatoo who got the Cats away, the opening goal.
Geelong have kicked the first, and it's Cockatoo.
Mitch Duncan is a key player for the Cats. He's 50 metres out and he bounces it through. Cats up by 7 points. Shane Kirsten's having a pretty good game. Nice smother, and he trapped it beautifully and dribbled the goal. And now Stevie Motlop, who's also proving dangerous in front. Small forward, makes no mistake. And the Cats led by 14 points at quarter time.
Coming across the front.
Selwood now, working hard, gives it to Menzel. And the Cats extend their lead to 20 points. What can the Suns do?
Did well not to let his man Grant loose there.
Sexton tries to keep it in, gets it back towards Jared Grant. He dribbles a goal, but at half-time, as I said, that margin was out to 41 points. Another game being played is at the MCG. Two sides that are absolutely desperate for a win. Richmond and Port Adelaide. Had Port Adelaide kicked straight, Richmond would be in dire straits at this very minute. They're still in it. Port Adelaide 7-10-52, Richmond a 5-4-34. Young's got 2 for the Power, Grigg and Rewalt 2 apiece for the Tigers. Dustin Martin with 18 disposals, Hooley and Grigg. Polek, Pittard and Broadbent doing pretty well for the Power. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from this game. The opening game, well, it was a snap from Sean Grigg and the Tigers were away.
Cochin's going to be the man to get in and get the ball here. He just pushes off Hartlett.
Cochin does well.
Turn around, Tyrone. The handball over the
Rewalt,
top.
a chance to make it 2.
They need your son.
And he does.
Jack Reed.
Suspension.
So the Power were looking for an answer. Here's Broadbent.
Fortune favouring the Brave. Broadbent
towards Ebert.
To Charlie Dixon.
Dixon is deep as well, and he takes the mark. And this kick can put the Power in front. It does.
Kick to the goal square.
Here's Aaron Young.
Into the open goal goes Young.
And all of a sudden, Port back in business.
Needs there. Young, fourth man.
Young was busy in the second quarter. And this gave Port control by 16 points. Sean Grigg now a chance to settle the Tigers. Out muscling Pittard. Here's Westall taking a big grab.
Pushed up the ground.
And he slotted the goal. Dustin Martin played. Good indeed it was. He finds Jack Rewalt. And the margin back to 2. Broadbent streaming forward under pressure. Kicks an amazing goal. And we find that the Power open up at this stage an 18-point lead. Here he goes. 65. Well, okay, Ed, go 80, but I would have said 65. Yes, it was a goal. Well done, Broadbent. That was an absolute beauty. Of course, a number of other matches still to be looked at. We'll do that on the other side of the break. I'm looking forward to Open Mic because it involves a player who was involved in one of the great altercations of all time. And I would imagine that his protagonist will be watching the program as well. The man in question on Open Mic, joining Mike Sheehan, is Dennis Banks.
Banks and Mullane, it was a formidable partnership back then, wasn't it?
It was a good partnership. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, absolutely.
But you were sort of almost well, you were notorious, you two.
Well, I'm not sure. You're telling the story.
Were you as wild as all the suggestions would indicate?
Oh, look, we watched each other's backs. There's no question about that. And yeah, there'd be a nod here and a nod there on the football field. But look, we had a lot of fun, and on the field, we watched each other's backs.
How long did it take you to get over the loss of Darren Mullane, or are you over it yet?
Kelly joins in, kick to the square, Cameron working in tandem there with Patton and puts it through.
Left footer.
Scully, it was set up by Kennedy, he's got enough leverage to screw another goal back, and what a start by the Giants. Green, the miraculous, lob, what about that for a goal? The biggest man out there. The Giants still might score a goal, it's not a matter of might, it was a matter of when. Cameron.
It really was a party in that first term at the ground this afternoon because Hawthorn Football Club, you remember this round last year? They were beaten for pace by the GWS Giants and they lost that game by 10 points. Well, the Giants had other ideas this afternoon because they just shot clear and were never headed, and they've in the process rewritten the record books. 24 goals, 14, 158 to Hawthorn. The back-to-back-to-back premiers, 12-11-83. Stevie J, well, look at this. The last time he kicked 5 was way back in 2012. Guess who it was against? He was playing for Geelong, and it was against the GWS Giants. Lobb was fantastic with 4 goals and his marking around the ground, and Jeremy Cameron 3. Shield was very good, Shaw was very good. A very different story for the Hawks, and they've certainly got some soul searching to do after a couple of indifferent weeks. But let's have a look at some of the highlights. It started early. Jeremy Cameron, party trick number 1. Then it was Tom Scully, waiting, receiving, left foot snap, no problem at all. Toby Green goes into full forward. Lob, how did he do that? On the wrong side of his boot. That was his second. And the Giants led by 32 points at quarter time. Now Stevie J, his third. Tuopolo may get a chance here finally for the Hawks. He does at full speed. That was his second. But the Giants led by 45 at half time. Cameron, a chance to boot his third. Plays on, runs into the open goal and has no problem at all. In the same passage, Stratton collected his teammate James Frawley, who left the ground a little groggy, but let's hope that he is okay. Coniglio to Tom Scully for his second goal. And at that stage, the Giants were certainly well and truly in control over the reigning premiers. And I tell you what, they finished up winning by 75 points, and they really did enjoy singing the song. And they're all heading over to Gubby Allen, Graham Allen, who is in the middle of the players. He's been in charge of the management of that team for a number of years. He's a wonderful administrator. Of course, left Victoria and headed north to look after the GWS Giants. And his time is almost up there, so that's their way of saying thank you and a job well done. Speaking of well done, maybe not for Alistair Clarkson, who, as far as he was concerned today, was beaten in absolutely every department.
Oh, we were comprehensively beaten in nearly every facet of the game. So, yeah, we're disappointed with our performance tonight. Played against a pretty good side. So, I've said it for the last couple of weeks. It's not just tonight. We've got some work to do as a club. So, under no illusions as to where we're at and what we need to do. But it's going to take some hard work and. At the moment, we're still 4-2, so our season's still well and truly alive for us. But we've got to find a way to play a little bit better than what we did tonight.
Summed up pretty well by Alistair Clarkson. Melbourne, well, they had a big job today because they hadn't beaten St Kilda in their last 12 attempts. But the good news was they had Christian Petrarca coming in for his very first game. Remember, he was drafted 520 days ago, was severely injured. He's able to overcome a couple, a knee and an ankle, and finally he got his chance today. In fact, to just give you a little fact, the last time Melbourne did beat St Kilda, Christian Petrarca was 6 years old. Well, they didn't today either. St Kilda, after a quiet first quarter, stormed away in the last three. 2015, 135 to 15-6. We'll have a look at some of the highlights. Nathan Jones getting Sam Frost away. Good snap by Frost. And the D's were early leaders. Tommy Bug, chance to go into the open goal after taking the hand pass and a nice little pirouette. Does it well. D's by 11 points at a quarter time. But then the young guns came to the fore for the Saints. Here's Blake Acres taking advantage of a shallow throw-in. Not all of them young. Nick Riewoldt on the end of this one, tucked in the pocket, rarely misses there, and he didn't today. That was his third. Saints by 12 points at half-time. Jack Sinclair, a chance to go onto the right boot. Did it very nicely. A classy goal. His second. Saints by 24. Tim Membry was the unlikely hero today. Here he is at the back of the pack. He kicked 5 for the Saints. And at that stage, they were ahead by 35 points. A wonderful effort. Jack Newnes steals it from Viney and he just keeps going, soccers off the ground and gets his own goal. Saints by 42 points at three-quarter time. Dom Tyson, well, a chance for something a little special on the boundary line, but it was all to no avail as St Kilda went on to record their 13th straight win over the Melbourne Footy Club. So they have got some soul searching to do, the Demons, after putting a couple of good wins together. They just can't seem to string 3 wins on the trot. Fremantle also have had some soul searching to do in recent weeks, coming to the Adelaide Oval this afternoon at 0-5. No side that finished top of the home and away has ever gone 0-6 the following year until now. Adelaide 14-13-97, defeating Fremantle 8-16-64. Eddie Betts, well, he owns all the pockets at the Adelaide Oval. He booted 4, Jenkins and Lynch 2 apiece, and it was Walters who booted 3 for the Fremantle Dockers. Rory Sloane leading the way, and Lachie Neale tried his absolute heart out for the Fremantle Dockers. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from this game. The Dockers started well. In fact, it was Matt Taberner who got the opening goal, takes a good mark, goes back and makes no mistake.
Missed a few shots, Fremantle.
Good goal by Taberner. Fremantle seem to have control of the ball here, deep in the defensive zone, but it doesn't always work out like that. Richard Douglas was able to finish off some good work here, and he does, with a delightful snap. Tom Lynch had a somewhat quieter day today. He kicked a couple of goals. This was one of them.
From Tommy Lynch.
That extended their lead to 10 points at that stage of the game.
Now they're under pressure. Lynch
now,
across to Betts.
Here's Betts. He's in his pocket, and you know what he's going to do. And that's exactly what he did. 23 points they lead by. Daniel Pearce centering the ball for the Dockers somewhat dangerously. Barlow finds Walters. The margin was cut to 32. But it was Charlie Cameron who put on the afterburners, and Betts was able to finish it off. He kicked his 4th. So good news for the Adelaide Crows. Not so good news for the Fremantle Dockers, bearing in mind they were without a number of key players, including Michael Johnson and Nat Fyfe. So that brings you up to date with all games played so far. It is the Gold Coast Suns, though, that we're concentrating on down at Simonds Stadium. The Cats having a very good second quarter, kicking 6 goals and restricting the Suns to just 2. Selwood has been busy. Dangerfield also has been busy. Jimmy Bartell can afford a smile. It's 74-33. We're set to go in the second half. Look at them, just having a crack at Gaz Jr. Selwood niggling. Can the Suns come back? We're about to find out as we head back to our commentators at Simonds Stadium.
In the midfield now, Ablett v Selwood. Oh, can't wait to watch that one go.
Hey, Lingy, is Mackenzie gone for the night, do you think?
Not 100% sure yet. I'll have a look for you, Richo.
So it's the Cats again. They appear to be an irrepressible force here tonight at Skilled Stadium, and Kolodjasny didn't see Cockatoo coming. He just flashed into the screen, got a piece of the body. Rosa came back, and now this is the first game of Willis. Kolodjasny again, great pressure from the Cats. Ablett to come in hard-brow. His slide of foot. This is a risky kick into the corridor. Worked underneath it was Davis. Little toe poke initially there from Motlop.
Push in the back. Advantage.
So it's going to be a Gold Coast footy, and Jared Grant hasn't seen a lot of the balls got it.
They look like they're a little more excited about this second half here, Gold Coast. Beautiful interception there by Guthrie. And he marks, intercept marks there 9-4 Geelong's way. Guthrie in the defensive end of the ground here, Lonigan. Thought about Blitzarves wide. And now just the little one over the top. Not 15. You heard the umpire. Guthrie's run down. He was taken to his knees. Still had hold of the footy there. Umpire gave him just a little bit of extra time to get rid of it. Martin. Bit of a party trick over the top. Lynch looking for the push off. Here comes Motlop. That's a scoop. That's a throw. Definitely. Correct call. Good call, Camelins.
You can't believe it there, Stevie Motlop. Just trying to do the right thing under pressure.
And the goal is kicked by Harbrow as a result.
Yeah, just a clanger there from Stevie Motlop. Under a bit of pressure, thought I'll just rush this through for a point. Scooped it up though, and the umpire rightly paid a throw. So the Suns get the first goal in this second half, and that's desperately needed, to say the least.
Well, they need the first 3 or 4 goals really to get themselves back into it, Richo. So let's hope for their sake that can continue.
So Stevie Motlop, bit of tunnel ball there from Stevie. Still argued the point, but scooped it up. Maybe this can ignite something here for the Gold Coast Suns. Can they get a couple in a row? Prestia was immediately tackled. Zach Smith did pretty well. And these two great competitors and champions going head-to-head. Little don't argue from Motlop was very good. He likes to go the outside of the boot. Cockatoo fisted away cleverly by Collar Jasny. Oh, the first game of Willis went head into it, and Kirsten picked it up, bent it around the corner. Shane Kirsten's got 3 goals.
Well done, Cockatoo there. Made a contest, a marking contest, and then followed the ball up. Second effort was great from Cockatoo, and Kirsten, he might end up having a career night out here tonight. 3 goals. Part of a very dangerous looking forward line setup the Cats have tonight. They're all getting involved. Yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare down there for the Suns defenders.
Career high for Kirsten, 3 goals again. Sorry, Lingy, talk us through the injury.
Yeah, BT, the update on Trent McKenzie is not a good one. He's got the big moon boot on, he's on crutches, so he's definitely done for the night. It was that left ankle that he rolled badly in the second quarter.
Out of the middle, there they go. Once again, the big fella Smith, and Dangerfield with the beautiful overhead jukes.
Too easy. The ruckman running out of the circle in the middle of the ground. Gee, your eyes light up if you're in the forward line and the players just streaming out of the middle. Let's have a look at this again. Zach Smith just stepped aside.
Only the players involved in the trade this pre-season were involved in that play. Smith and now Dangerfield to finish. Right behind him here, into that magnificent new stand, which is complete. And he's stuck it out to the right-hand side at the river end of the ground.
Laid back a bit on that one, BT. Danger. Can they get it out of 50 here? They've been really struggling with their rebound tonight, the Suns, and ball movement. And now they're going to get trapped in this pocket here. That kick
and they've
there.
gone that bailout kick to the pocket nearly every time they've kicked in tonight.
Gee, it's tough to move the ball now. Look at that. That's all you can do.
Yeah, you see the Cats, they're so good, Richo, aren't they? Closing your space. It needed a big mark, and well done to Daniel Curry.
BT, you asked me right at the start of the game about this ground and the subtleties of it. That kick to the pocket that you guys are talking about, it is so easy to defend on Simmons Stadium. Because of that narrow ground, you can just trap them in the pocket, and they really have to scramble to get out, and they've turned it over again, the Suns.
That was a horror kick from Day. It's been just turned over horribly. Look at the ball from Dangerfield. That sums up the game, doesn't it? Clanger kick. Sando turned it over, and then a 50-metre bullet from Paddy Dangerfield to Tom Hawkins.
Yeah, that was another clanger. Have a look at this. Another shank. And Kirsten gets the kick in. That was a good kick. He had to get it there quickly to Hawkins, who was on his own. You can see Curry was going to get back if that was a long high ball, so he thought through that kick really well, Kirsten.
So it's a good chance now for a few of the Geelong players to really get some form and some confidence and fill your boots right up tonight. And Tom Hawkins does a bit of that. He kicks his second goal.
So all of the forwards kept talking about enjoying this night out here at the Cats. Just find it strange that Lingy's talking about that pocket down there and how easy it is to defend. I think the Suns would come here with a bit of homework on the ground and would realise that that kick to the pocket there is just never going to work. You're going to be trapped in. The Cats know this ground so well. Some headaches there, Rocket.
Yeah, contemplating.
I mean, when you're turning it over like that, I mean, what can you do?
Game high margin now of 48 points Geelong's way. Curry again wins that one out. Now Selwood on the end of it. Duncan, bit of a look away handball to Smith. Forced to go on his left. Decided to just retreat. They buy some time and space here. Now Caddy decides to go Harry Taylor. So really composed Geelong.
Play on! Mine.
Not willing to push forward unless they can find a way through immediately. happy to hold it up and happy to pick their way through, just like we're seeing now. Risky kick from Kolajasny into the middle of the ground. Picked up by Grant, shuffled the handball out the back door. Rosa was stripped. Motlop's having a real good night. High ball, Dangerfield tripping in front of him was Kirsten. And I reckon this might be within range for Kirsten. He plays on, and the umpire said didn't go behind the mark.
Lingy, this is just about be Kirsten's best game he's putting together here tonight.
Yeah, agree, Richo, especially over, well, so far the 2.5 quarters, having an impact right across the game. He's been busy. That's the biggest thing I've noticed. He keeps getting to more contests, keeps presenting more than I've seen at any point throughout his entire career. Only his 25th game. He's going at a goal a game. Probably just needs to bump that up to that 1.5, 2 goals a game.
Never kicked 4 before. Here he is, long way out, directly in front, kick on the way, little left, peeling back now, not enough.
So let's see what they do here on this kick in. Surely, Mike, they're going to go here again.
No.
And now, all he can probably do now is go back straight down the line here, and the Cats will be able to defend it.
This wasn't a lot of movement for Jared Harbury. He looked up, he wanted something, and nothing there. So long and slow down the line. Curry at least gives another good contest. Duncan tried to fend off a tackle and then handled it almost over the fence. So that's been called deliberate. Trying to get my head around that rule, to be perfectly honest with you. Ablett, he's also got a bit of the yips by foot. Motlop's kick around the body. High bending, but not enough. So an even 50-point margin. What do you think about this, Richo? Is this a deliberate out of bounds?
I just think he was trying to handball it forward, and the tackle sort of carried the ball across. I don't think that was his intention.
Oh, look at the pressure. I was happy with that decision, by the way. Free kick, advantage paid, Geelong score. Now, that was all created because they didn't want to go to the pocket again. And in the end, they said, no, we can't keep going there. And just the lack of confidence, you could see it in the leg. He didn't really want to kick it. He didn't really kick through it and made a mess of it.
Yeah, it's just living in Geelong's forward half now, mainly because of those kick-ins to that pocket and back down the line, and easy to defend. So at least he tried something different that time. There, Kolajasny, and just another skill error. Another skill error, another goal for the Cats.
3 goals to Nakai Cockatoo. Really starting to have a night out here. The Cats pressed there, always under pressure. Martin came in. It was a good attempt at the tackle, but they still find a way, the Cats. Bartel and then right back there now it's Blitzarves who got it from Buse to Harry Taylor. So much composure and experience and leadership out there. Duncan, little one over the top to Blitzarves. Partially smothered the kick. Fans, Motlop's had a really dangerous looking night. Got that look in his eye. He's going to have a big one. Dangerfield loads up from 50, makes no mistake. 4 goals in a row this quarter, and they are blowing this game wide open, the Cats. It's getting really ugly now, isn't it?
Yeah, well done Motlop there. Trapped that ball, set up danger, and he just went bang. That went well over the fence, off a couple of steps. Paddy Dangerfield having a cracking night again. And this has got a 100-pointer written all over it at this stage. The Suns have got to respond, try something.
Geelong are up and about, 4 in a row, 7 entries inside 50 in this quarter, 7 scores for a total of 4 goals, 3.
Look how efficient. Look at that kick there. He just 50. That went 10 metres over the fence.
Dangerfield getting his first here. Here he is now. Handball out wide. Prestia able to get on the end of it. Bang! McCarthy, great tackle. Enright now to the big fella there. Handball backwards from Caddy along the ground by Enright, I think it was.
Just consult them. Consult both of them whether it's out on the full.
And that's where the damage is being done. Have a look at that double the clearances.
Smith. Martel. Caddy. Nice little backheel. Lang made the most of it. Here's Menzel. Now Duncan just bangs it high. Where's Hawkins? Here he comes. He lets instead Vardy do the work. Almost had it Cockatoo. Hawkins sock of the middle. 2-on-1 here. Did well. McCarthy allowed Kirsten an opportunity, so he repays the favour. Miss.
Yeah, but disappointed there. Lincoln McCarthy did all the hard work. As you said it, man, Chris Scott, it's going to have a pretty relaxing night tonight. If there is such a thing in the coach's box, turns 40 early next week. An incredible career he's had in the game of footy. He was part of one of the great teams of all time. Vice captain of that Brisbane Lions team who were just incredible. Already a premiership coach, and he's got a team that is looking like they're set to challenge again. Here comes Lynch. Just hasn't had enough looks at it tonight, Tom Lynch. Back to Hall. And now Martin trying hard. Jack Martin. Can he hit a target in the corridor? Malcheski put the one hand up and did it really well. He's got Ablett out here. Ablett is pointing to Prestia, saying we've got to transfer at the side of the ground. Just didn't really cast his eyes in that direction now to a 2-on-1. And
Das, as soon as he hesitated then, exactly as you called it, just allowed 2 or 3 Geelong players to get straight back inside defensive 50, and the kick just played into their hands, and they'll use those numbers now to rebound out of defence. They had to go fast once they got that mark in the middle of the ground through Malcheski.
You're adamant about that, Lingy. You've got to go quick here, don't you?
Well, it's I keep saying it's a smallish ground, so if you hesitate at all the space can just be closed up straight away, and players can transition back and help their defenders out. And Gold Coast have just done it really poorly tonight. The Cats, they train here every single day, so they've done it well again. Maybe not quite so much with that kick.
No, wasn't his best. So Prestia goes into the middle. That's what Lingy's taught. Got to go quick before they get a chance to block it up in there. Mark taken here by Davis. Davis low ball. No one will be on the end of that. And Mark taken by Henderson. Immediately. Geelong, no. Got to go quick if you want to. There it is, bang in the middle. Menzel's got to go quick, and he does once again in the middle. Probably not his perfect kick. Lang was outmanoeuvred by Lemons. It was well done by him. Now an opportunity at ground level here for Gold Coast to tidy things up. They do it well, but the kick was under pressure. Blitzarves, strong overhead from Blitzarves.
What a player he's been, Mark Blitzarves. 72nd game of AFL football. Former steeplechaser, won their best and fairest last year. And he's just such an important player, so hard to match up on. Here's Cockatoo. He's kicked 3 goals tonight. Hawkins handball out in the direction of Vardy. The 2 athletic big men right, and Vardy do battle, picked up by Hall. He continues his really solid form. Aaron Hall.
5 marks some opposition kicks this quarter in the Geelong back half, and that sums it up.
Yeah, the Masters had it, aren't they, Richo?
Yeah, then they just rebound and launch from there.
It's all just the required journey to Blitzarves.
Blitzarves now to Hawkins. Tries to set up the one-on-one. Cockatoo drew his man in then. Hawkins probably wouldn't have been all that happy with that. Now they've got to try and muscle their way out here. Day was in there, dispossessed of the ball immediately. Prestia has a little go. Picked up by Hawkins. Was he tackled high? I think so.
The bad news for the Suns here tonight as well is the Cats are the best last quarter team in the comp this year. They've been really blowing teams away late. So not good news if you're a Suns fan.
Now Hawkins is hoping like hell that everyone's manned up here because he'd love to have a peek from the 50 intersection.
Is it Tom Hawkins speaking, or is that you speaking, Gristle?
That's the mindset of a full forward, isn't it?
That is the mindset.
You pretend that you're really desperate to kick it.
Surprised me. He's going to the top of the square, quite deliberately put it in the spot there. So nice work from Tom. My advice would be to have a ping.
Just occasionally on Saturday night footy, we really get an insight into the mind of Brian Taylor, don't we? Harks back to when you were playing BT and being a teammate. You would have just done the old fake numerous times, said, sorry boys, I didn't see you that you were out. Had to have a shot.
Had a good record here, Brian, I think, too.
Danger flying shot at goal, just missed. What was his numbers here like, Richard?
Kicked 18 goals in 4 games down here, the big bristler. He told me that before the game.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
You told me before the game.
Wrote it down on a bit of paper just now, in case we forgot.
Oh, wobblehead Brian.
Duncan. He's said to the umpire, look, he's indicating the umpire there, I'm going for goal here, so I want me full 50.
15 gone.
And the umpire's a little dubious about whether he is, and so am I. I think he's just waiting for something to transpire, and he was. He was never going to go for it, and there it is. Great patience. He was well within his rights to do that. No problems.
So when you were doing your homework for this game, you looked up your own numbers at the ground. Oh, you are kidding yourself.
Hand either of you anything, so don't... let's call it what it is. Don't tell lies.
He looked up his own numbers because he knew he was coming down.
Even by your standards, Bristol, that's quite extraordinary.
There's Hawkins looking for 3.
On there. Not a free kick.
35 metres out. Nice. And it was close. But not close enough. So Rodney Eade would be contemplating how can he stop the bleeding and just get back on a level playing field here for the last quarter.
As Richo pointed out, they really love to have Stephen May back in the side, Rory Thompson, their two-gun defenders. They really miss them at the moment.
I mean, not many teams in the comp can afford to lose their full-back and centre-half back. It's really shown up tonight.
So it's put a lot of responsibility on this man's shoulders, Henry Shade.
He had 22 inside 50s, the Suns.
And you pointed out right from the start of the night, getting out of this part of the ground has been really tough for them. Took Miller, played every game last year, and there's another intercept mark in defence.
The Cats have really got their press going, though. This year, it's working beautifully. Look at the intercept marks, 15-4.
Just that little look there from Harry Taylor. Just looking at Lynch going, you really need to give me the ear massage.
Yeah, I'm Harry and I'm a good bloke, so I don't require that sort of treatment. There's Henderson. It's an intriguing situation with the Collingwood defenders that Lingy's mentioned, that so many tall defenders and they can't all play together. You can't play Mackie, Lonigan, Henderson, Enright. I don't know whether there's another one I've missed out there. Kolajasny. You can't play them all together in Harry Taylor, can you, Lingy?
No, I think that's what the Geelong coaching staff are really wrestling with at the moment. What's it going to look like come later on in the year when they're hopefully playing finals football? And you're right, that many talls maybe just limits their run out of defence. I said earlier Jackson Thurlow was a big blow before the season. They're going to find that real hard-running, rebounding defender to support Corey Enright.
Well, look at Hawkins wrapping the Dukes around the nut there as he goes long and deep over the head. Almost got there. Lemons now, a little panic handball. And Geelong applying the screws. A massive 65-point lead here at the moment.
So look at big Peter Wright down there, who's pick 8 in the 2014 draft. He's the big red-headed fellow. He's going to contest this one. He had 17 possessions, 3 goals last week, and in fact Curry went up in the ruck contest. It's a hard ground to play at this one against this outstanding outfit, and they are really starting to shape again as an outstanding team, the Cats. The first game of Willis, tough for him as well under pressure. Skewed off the side of the boot, marked by Bartell. Spears went into a dangerous position. Cockatoo went up, big fist from Shade. Wrapped up the tackle immediately again was Mackenzie Wills on debut for the Gold Coast Suns.
Only 3 inside 50s for the quarter. 9 clearances to 0.
Selwood taken high by Malcheski. Just got an appetite for it at the moment, the Cats. Advantage paid, or it's going to go back, I think, to Selwood.
If you're winning the clearances 9-0, it's going to live in your forward line, and that's what it's been for the Cats.
Why wasn't this advantage? Because the advantage was the shot at goal, and he kicked the goal. Should have been play on advantage.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Brian.
On your line, next then.
I got the feeling that Joel Selwood's almost been inspired by Paddy Dangerfield. It's almost like he's looked and said, all right, it's a challenge to my mantle as well as the main man down here at Geelong. And is he putting together some sort of season? Selwood, it's 5 in a row again to the Cats.
Yeah, he certainly is putting together a good season on the back of no pre-season. So it shows you how good this champ is. We did ask him last week after the game whether Danger coming to the club had sort of inspired and lifted him on to great heights, and he didn't really say,
Wasn't keen to engage on it, was he?
But I think he would have to be inspired by Dangerfield.
Tell you what, though, in American sport, just one star on each team is enough. They probably wouldn't cop it, but here we're unusual, and we're happy to accept.
Shaquille O'Neal and
Kobe
fell out, didn't they?
Yep.
Only big enough for one star, that team.
The difference here, Selwood and Dangerfield are both unbelievable people. You know? They're just genuine good people. Out of the middle, I think it was Kolajasny for Gold Coast that kicked it high and long. Henderson just
another intercept mark.
Lockie Henderson starting to work his way into some form. Amazingly, when he made the move from Carlton to Geelong, he went and got a job just packing boxes in a local warehouse in Torquay for a small surf company, just because he wanted to have something else to do, not just football, just take his mind off football. Loves to surf, so working for a local surf company, just packing boxes in the warehouse, Lockie Henderson.
Very nice. Dangerfield driving inside. Cockatoo almost got on the end of it. Couldn't have seen Lingy doing that myself, packing boxes, but anyway, keep busy, that's the key. Melcheski wide. Here's Harbrow, by the way, becomes the first person next week, if he gets through this game, to play 100 games for the Gold Coast. And that's not his best kick. So that'll be a nice little feat. The first Suns player to play 100.
Does that have any reason why you left Richmond initially? Was it you were the star and you just thought, I'm not going to cop this go, Roach?
No, we're good
alongside
friends,
me.
But it's fair to say that I played in the same position. Both couldn't play that position. I mean, that's just a fact.
You do like to be the main man, though, Bristol, if we know you correctly. Kolajasny takes a good mark. Short one on now to Hall.
Well, Danger and Sells are both midfielders. Brian?
Well, you're allowed to have 4 of those. In fact, you can have a dozen now.
You're allowed to have 6 forwards.
Unusual kick that was by Henderson, the running torpedo. It's going to come back the other way. Goes back in again. Henderson, Malcheski claim the mark, and he can't work out why the whistle didn't blow. Dangerfield loves to run, loves to kick long. Beautifully weighted kick for Hawkins. And he's enjoying some fine service. Hawkins unselfishly into the corridor. Darcy Lang in the right spot, directly in front.
They're just queuing up. The Suns aren't working back hard enough either, I don't think, tonight. Just look at the numbers here. Hawkins turns around. He could have kicked it to any one of 3 other players there.
And he genuinely doesn't care how many goals he contributes, does he? He's just happy to win, and it's fantastic attitude of the big fella, Tommy Hawkins.
Yeah, super unselfish, isn't he? It's been the way this club has built its success on that great culture, and now Darcy Lang, late inclusion into the side, and he gets involved in it as well. 77 points the margin.
Darcy Lang becomes the Cats' 10th goal kicker tonight. If you can have 10 goal kickers, that's a great spread. And as I said, they're starting to queue up down there inside 50 now. I'm not sure the Suns players are working back hard enough into that defensive area tonight. 18 marks inside 50. And it's not even 3/4 time.
Since the Harbrow goal in the opening minute of this third quarter, Geelong have gone on to kick 6 goals, 6 to no score. They have throttled them to a commanding 77-point lead. Prestia, Bartel, little flick pass, I reckon that was. Now Buse.
Old EJ Witt special.
Yeah. Dangerfield couldn't control it. Ball over the line, out of bounds. There's Paddy Dangerfield. They are quickly falling in love with this man. Parks himself down at Moggs Creek, about 40 minutes south of this venue, on the way to Lawn, between Anglesey and Lawn. Free kick going the way of Ablett here. 20th touch for him. 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. On to Hall, he looks to step on the gas. High ball to a one-on-one here, and just moving his man right under the ball beautifully was Henderson.
Let's get the record books out for intercept marks in defence. It's Feeling like that happens every time the Gold Coast Suns go forward.
I can't remember the last time it went inside 50 for the Suns and the ball came to ground. Geelong are marking every entry the Suns have inside their own 50.
Biggest margin for the year, 86 points. The GWS win over Port Adelaide. That's in danger tonight. Out the back, another chance. Zach Smith, really athletic, really clever. Great goal, Zach Smith.
How good's that from the big man? Just comes out, wheels around on the left. Too easy though. A lot of hands on hips down there in that defensive 50 for the Gold Coast Suns.
He's a really good player, Richo, Zach Smith. I'm a big fan. I love the fact that very few ruckmen would be able to go into the goal square and do that. Sidestep, turn around, get on the non-preferred. He's got something special.
He has.
He's a class player, this bloke. He's a really big talent. I mean, he's a good ruckman and he's also capable of going forward. I couldn't name any ruckman in the competition that would have the skill to do what he just did then.
No, it's extraordinary for a man his size, but his opponent there, Sam Day, he simply just thought that ball wasn't going to get over the back and just spectated and watched Smith come out.
And they're looking for more. Menzel with the give and go. And then the right foot banana off the side of the boot. A little bit of Hollywood about that from Menzel. Kick wide now to Sexton. 1 minute remaining. A massive 83-point lead here at the moment. And this is a great 40th birthday present for Chris Scott, because he can just sit there and relax. Presty had tried to disguise the ball.
That was one of the first times.
Hawkins long. Really long ball. Gee, there, good hands from Paddy. He looks inside. He hopes there's nothing there.
I think that's the 20th mark inside forward 50.
What good hands they were.
He can do it all, Danger, can't he? How good is he overhead as well?
Patrick Dangerfield to extend to 89 points on the eve of three-quarter time. Dangerfield around the corner, didn't get enough of it. And Lang's gone for the impossible. Vardy went the fresh area out of the middle and they live to fight another day.
Almost the bicycle attempt that was from Darcy Lang. Got all the tricks on display. Malchesia had so much trouble getting out of this part of the ground. Harry Taylor, despite the fact they're up 83 points, he's still not happy. Slight fumble. And that's just a little reflection of the professionalism and the high standards. It's great side sets.
What a quarter of football it was for the Cats. Can they become the first team this year to win by 100 points? They lead by 83. They're currently smashing the Gold Coast. Stay with us. We'll find out on the other side of the break. Well, the story of the night, it's been all the Cats. Nakia Cockatoo got them off to a flying start. He and Mitch Duncan combining. They led by 14 points at quarter time. Looked like it was going to be a pretty tight game, but in the second quarter, Menzel was able to get out of the loop and go bang, and then the injuries really started to bite. McKenzie got injured, Day got injured, and all of a sudden they started to fall to pieces as a result. On top of those, they've already got out of the side. Rodney Eade didn't know quite what to do at this stage. Injury after injury and goal after goal from the Cats. And then in the third quarter, Nakia Cockatoo again around the corner, and Patrick Dangerfield just dominated this third quarter of football, bombing that one from 50. It was great stuff from him. So at three-quarter time, a massive Geelong lead by 83 points. Gee, Lingy, Gold Coast have been very, very poor in being down 83.
They certainly have been. They have been terrible in this game. This is a team that wants to be playing finals football. This is a team that in their development needs to be, if not beating, certainly very competitive against teams like Geelong. And they have just been so poor tonight. Only the 24 inside 50s. They've made an absolute mess of the ball when they've had it in their hands. They're down 18 in contested possession. Just a really, really poor night for the Gold Coast Suns. They need to show something in this last quarter, because the first three quarters have been extremely disappointing.
Well, they've only had 18 clearances, so they've never got first juice of the football tonight. Out of those 18, Ablett's had 7. So just far too many players not contributing tonight for the Suns.
And the Cats, they'll be eyeing off the magical 100 points here tonight. They're really wanting to load up, and Tom Lynch gets a turn in the centre bounce. It's not a bad move, actually.
Well, he's just been starved of opportunity from early in the game, so get him up around the footy.
Blitzarves drives him long again. Hawkins has been tackled without the footy, and that matchup's a real concern for him. Advantage has been paid. I think the goal is going to be awarded. Just trying to pick up, made my eyes on Tom Hawkins. There might be Lincoln McCarthy down there, I think.
Darcy Lang.
Darcy Lang, goal to the Cats. Only took 30 seconds in the last quarter, and the margin already out to 89 points.
Just out of the centre again. How simple's that? Free kick clearly there to Hawkins. Another goal within 20 seconds. It's getting close to that 100-point mark. As BT said, the first team this year looking for a 100-point win.
They can do horrible things to footy clubs, 100-point margins. 89 it is here at the moment. They need to get cracking and do something about this, show some sort of resilience.
They won their first 3 games, the Suns, and going to lose their 3rd game in a row tonight by 100 points.
Selwood as hard as ever, head over the footy. They're going to win this by 100, there's no doubt about it. Let's have a look at how they go about it. Menzel has been really good tonight.
They're just waltzing it out of the centre of the ground.
Selwood demanding the footy, barely 10 metres.
I mean, how can Selwood just run out of the middle there and take a chest mark?
Nearly 15 in fact. Now Selwood goes long and deep, and they're all worried about Blitzarves behind, and Jimmy Bartell just drifts across the front.
And they forgot about Jimmy Bartell, who's, for a midfield type player, he's so good overhead and has been his whole career, Jim Bartell. And he uncontested in the end.
Game 289 tonight for Bartell. Joins the big 5 at Geelong. Then Curvis, Enright, Newman and Milburn. Only those players have played more games than this man here, Bartell.
Doesn't miss these.
And he comes, 30-metre kick, and bang, the timber work.
It's a fairly reasonable moz you just put on.
Sorry, Jimmy. Sorry about that.
It was almost a deliberate sort of act from Richo.
Richo, you mentioned how easy it was Joel Selwood taking that uncontested mark. Well, Jimmy, in the forward 50, being able to just take an uncontested mark like that, that is the perfect example of just how easy Gold Coast have been to play against tonight. Geelong have been outstanding. They've been very good, but the Suns just bitterly disappointing with the way they've played. No pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a good point you make, Lee. It starts to do a bit of damage too. It wears away. As BT said, there's something about big 100-point losses that are demoralising, and they can have longer effects in just 1 week. Duncan, short pass on, not his best kick. They've got a lot of numbers back there, but no one wanted to get the footy. Through came Menzel. He's desperate to get involved.
Holding the ball. Gold Coast.
So good tackle.
Let him up, please. Let him up.
Henry Shade comes up with a good play there on Mitch Duncan.
An old coach in Tassie used to say, you're just standing around like old stale bottles of beer out there, boys, and they're just all standing around waiting for someone else to do something tonight, the Suns.
I'm quite sure that was the exact wording what the old guy in Tassie used to say, but
yeah, I don't think it
close
was.
enough.
It was something like that.
High ball, they come again. Off hands Lynch.
Well, there was definitely stale bottles of beer in it.
Lonigan started the game really well. Lonigan over the top of it. Kolajasny, Ablett out the back door. Little handball. Here they go once again. Rosa gains some ground, but it's going to come back here. Henderson, who Lingy said has been pretty good. Finds Bartell. Bartell wide to Lang. The loose man created here now. What have they got further on? Nice little ball here to Menzel. Menzel wheels and goes back into the corridor. Beautiful to Blitzarves. 90-point margin. Blitzarves waiting for the lead. 2 were offered, none were on it. So now he goes wide and finds Buse. Little looping handball to Henderson. He can run and go from 55 out. Long ball, top of the square. Menzel over the back. Off the post.
Just how good is it to see Daniel Menzel launching himself at footies like that? I watched him a couple of times tonight where he's had to just absolutely pivot on his knee, turn around. He's got total faith in his body, again, which is fantastic to see. And I'm with you, Richo, 22 possessions tonight. If he just keeps going this way, he's going to become a massive player for this side. It's great to watch, isn't it, Lingy? You must be really excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely, Das. The fact that he can just keep going at it with that sort of confidence. I know a lot of people in the stands would be nervous for him, and even those watching on TV would be nervous, but he just has total confidence. It's great to see.
4 knee reconstructions, 2 Lars operations. I mean, you just think that would be impossible, wouldn't you, to come out and he's not running around making up the numbers, Daniel Menzel. He's flying. Kicked 3 goals last week. Had a huge influence. Here he goes again. He wants more of it. Super hungry, Dangerfield. Tracks Prestia. Rosa flicked one out the first game of Willis.
It's unbelievable, really, when you think about it, isn't it? 4 knee reconstructions.
Yep.
How he stuck at it.
Wasn't that long that if you overcame 2, I think David Swartz did that very early on, the first to do it, and that was regarded as a great feat.
Did Libba have a couple?
Libba had 2, yeah. I think David Swartz had 3 knee reconstructions and came back and played on the back of that.
So here's Took Miller looking for Harbrow off his hands. Have a look at these Geelong defenders. They just mop up so beautifully. They come off their men to help when in a difficult situation. Now blitz halves, the new breed. Lang, Harry Taylor, all combining here. High footy, up they fly, Nakia Cockatoo. Couldn't get his hands around it. Presti was there. Cockatoo again, done well. Lang thought about the little handball, went back to end right. Under pressure here. Motlop up against the boundary line. He's got a great step. Now he's able to get the ball long. Hawkins has got his man in a good position here. Under the footy, Selwood tried to knock it out to him. Just didn't quite succeed. And I think we'll have a ball up here. No, the umpire's going to ping Gold Coast, I'd reckon. And Lynch, it'll be a free kick going Geelong's way to Tom Hawkins.
Right, now guys.
Held the ball in, said the umpire. I think Hawkins wasn't going to let it come out. So now just draws breath, tucks the mouth guard into the sock. And this to extend it to a 97-point margin. Big kick, 50-metre kick. And it's going to bend back magnificently. That is an absolute ripper. That is called knowing this ground. Hawkins has 3.
Yeah, launched it, Tommy. He's had a pretty good night, Tom Hawkins. All the Geelong players have, really. There's not many passengers out there tonight. 19 touches, 9 marks, 3 goals. It's a good night at the office for a key forward. Plenty of score involvements for Tom. An unselfish player. He's given off a couple tonight.
So Tom Hawkins extends the margin to 97 points since the 1 minute mark of the 3rd quarter. The last 17 scores have been all Geelong. They've kicked 9 goals, 8. And it's really starting to become distressing for the Gold Coast. This is on a day where GWS beat the champion Hawthorn team by 75 points. They come forward again, Guthrie to Hawkins, and he's loading up big time now, Tom Hawkins.
They're just waltzing it out of the centre of the ground. It's far too easy out of the middle. And Hawkins will end up with 5 or 6 here, the way it's coming out of the middle. Look at the centre clearances, 20-6. They haven't taken a mark inside 50 since the 1st quarter. That's unbelievable.
Gee. So just 1 goal in the previous fortnight coming into this game, and now for goal number 4, he didn't quite hit it right, but it didn't matter. 4 goals to Hawkins.
Yeah, he's going to cash in late here, Tom Hawkins, and he deserves it. He's worked really hard tonight. And often in games like this, where you put the work in early, you can cash in late in a game and get the feeling Hawkins has got a few more left tonight.
Scintillating footy again by the Cats out of the middle. It was the quick hands from the skipper. Caddy got forward, Guthrie got forward. Beautiful use to Tom Hawkins. They have dominated out of the centre clearances, 20-6 at the moment, and there's the 100-point margin, 103.
103 points here now for Geelong.
I can't remember another game where I've seen it be so clearly to one team out of the middle of the ground. 20-6. That's incredible numbers.
There it is.
What did you say about no marks inside Gold Coast forward 50?
They haven't taken a mark since the first quarter inside their forward 50.
Sure.
And that's because they're never getting first use. They're trying to set up all of their attacks from their back 50.
Guys, I'm coming back that way.
And with this narrow ground here at Geelong, they just can't transfer it from one end to the other. And that's why they've had 25 inside 50s.
Hawkins has 4 goals, 2 for the night. Prestia over the top here to Rosa. There's Paul Rosa. He's able to go forward, spot up Lemons. And a 50-metre penalty, so that is against Lonigan.
You're well inside the 10 metres.
Inside the 10-metre zone, so maybe not against Lonigan, maybe someone else, maybe Mitch Duncan close by there. So this will be a certain goal, 15 metres out, directly in front. And Lemons, the man to kick it, hasn't kicked a goal this year, I don't think. He's one of the defenders, and he steps to the plate here. Kick of only 20 metres, this to reduce the margin back to 97 points, and he does that. 97-point margin. So they are just perplexed at the moment here, Gold Coast.
Yeah, they're just waiting for the final siren at the moment, but there's still a lot of footy left here.
Good 12, 13 minutes of footy left, Richo, so they can't just wrap it up.
Let's have a look at this one. We know that is the rule that they're really going to focus in on if you're in the 10-metre protected zone, and yeah, he ran that way. You've got to head directly the opposite way, Richo, and
yeah, Lemons wasn't able to wheel around there. Duncan was clearly in the area, so the right decision there.
Good attack on the ball again from Lemons. Really went in and won a good footy. Kolajazzi came the other way. Had a little jump handball from Dangerfield. Guthrie, though, turned it over. Just appear to have numbers wherever required. The Cats sweep it out. Jed Buse. He'll be desperate to stay in this side. Son of the gun, Andrew, former captain. Dangerfield again in a big wrestle with Lynch. A couple of strong bodies in there.
Gee, they're looking in good shape, the Cats, aren't they? We were just talking before, Das, how they are just able to rebuild on the run. Their recruitment's been brilliant, the players they've brought in this year. And they're looking the real deal, the Cats.
They certainly are, aren't they? Cockatoo was one of their early draft picks. He's had an outstanding night tonight as well. Menzel just out of his hands on it. So Prestia comes up with maybe a little fortuitous decision, but gets it to Harbrow. Out wide. Henderson's had a great game today, and he's one of
those recruits.
He is, isn't he?
And then they've got players like Kirsten, who looks to have improved his footy. Guthrie's better.
Not sure why the crowd thought that wasn't deliberate, because he had no other intention. And now they want it against Grant, who smothered the ball. There is Danger wearing number 35. Of course, wore 32 in Adelaide. He did wear 35 for the Geelong Falcons under Mickey Turner down there, so he wanted that 35. Paul Chapman had it before he arrived, and then I think it had a bit of a hiatus for a year or two before Paddy arrived. Number ever mattered to you, Richo? Did you ever care about what you got? You were just happy with what you got? How do they distribute numbers?
Some clubs start with a higher number when you first get there and then work your way down.
You would have started with a high number, Richo, I'm assuming, not with the pedigree of...
I wouldn't have thought so.
Richardson, name it, Tigerland.
The old man wore number 12, so yeah, I was pretty happy to get that.
Lonigan out wide.
You guys were just talking about the recruiting that Geelong has done in the off-season to rebuild on the run. as the more and more wins that Geelong gets, the better the Lockie Henderson deal becomes as well, because they traded a future pick for Lockie Henderson, and the higher Geelong finish on the ladder, obviously the lower pick that will be. If it ends up maybe pick 15 or 16 for Henderson, more value as opposed to if they were losing games. So it could turn out to be a really smart move with the future pick.
Yeah, it all looks good here at the Cattery at the moment.
Lingy's got a bit of chirp in his voice down there, hasn't he?
Excited again.
Right back up and about. We lost him for a few weeks last year, Lingy, fair to say.
It's just been a very lovely night spent down here, just enjoying the football.
Yeah, a nice falcon there for danger. Trying to sweep a handball out Sexton. Getting involved there, Buse and Took Miller. Well, it feels wide open season 2016. The Hawks went down by a big margin today. And you just look at this Geelong outfit with a great mix of experience and new blood. You'd have to say, are right in the frame. It's a genuine possibility. There's a good mark. Shade. Again, they just turned the ball over.
It's exciting, isn't it, this year?
Yeah, 50,000 members have just clicked over, I think, as well for Geelong. So it is exciting, Richo, and they've got West Coast at this venue next week, so they'll test themselves against one of the real beauties of the competition on this track here at Simmons. So nice to be able to get a top side like West Coast travelling to this ground. Very tough for them to win. Geelong, and
that's a really good test, isn't it? Because the Eagles are used to playing on a narrower ground as well over there at Patterson, so they should defend the ground pretty well.
We already think that they're good, Geelong. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but with West Coast and Adelaide over the next 2 weeks, we are going to know exactly, and they are going to know exactly where they're placed. So here is Lang. Goes wide. This is an opportunity here. Kirsten to go all the way. Little chipping kick, very unselfish, and Caddy has marked.
Yeah, that's too easy again. Another mark inside 50.
He's on the mark, Josh. Thank you.
It'll be about 24 or 25 marks inside 50 now for the Cats.
20 handballs tonight for Josh Caddy. And here he is with a chance to join those that are scoring and get the margin back above 100.
Taking 122 marks, the Cats.
Gee, that's a good kick. That's a real good roost from Josh Caddy. 103!
He's been a good player tonight, Josh Caddy. Real link-up type of game that he's played, the 20 handballs. Got involved in a lot of chains, scoring chains. He's just adding depth through the midfield for them. Guthrie, Caddy really supporting Selwood and Dangerfield through the middle. Mitch Duncan.
There's some talent there that they would love out there. Stephen May.
Briscatelli there.
Briscatelli, who's former best and fairest winner at the Brisbane Lions. And you think of Jago Mira and David Swallow as well. So there's a lot missing from this Gold Coast side, but I think tonight, they'll have to say, is really unacceptable. It's been an incredibly poor performance. Take nothing away from the great Geelong side who've dominated again. Davis slaps it back in the direction of Grant. Now Chesky as a flying shot from the pocket. Always a high degree of difficulty, and even his skills couldn't manufacture something there.
Darcy Lang with possession number 19 for him. Goes wide and finds Guthrie. Been a good get for Geelong, Guthrie, hasn't he? He's just built over the last few years and now becoming an instrumental part of their team.
I reckon he's a little bit perhaps underrated.
Yeah.
Guthrie. They rate him very highly at Geelong.
I'll tell you another reason why he's been such a good get for Geelong. We know the story that it was his dad who suggested getting Mark Blitzarves to the club, or Stephen Wells to have a look at Mark Blitzarves. So on both accounts it worked out very, very nicely.
Indeed it did. Lonergan hammers one deep inside 50, and this is a cinch for Selwood.
But that was a 50-metre kick.
Caddy will waltz in and make it 108 points. Consecutive goals for Josh Caddy.
Selwood, that was a 50-metre kick. The Suns had numbers back, but Selwood was still able to take an uncontested mark. It's just been ridiculously easy tonight. There's a 50-metre kick. There's numbers there. There's 5 Suns players. But Selwood was able to take an uncontested mark, and then that's just too easy.
Not a good look, is it?
No.
Getting to the point, Richo, where there's a bit of scarring here for Gold Coast.
It's hard to recover from this next week.
Sort of reminiscent of some of what happened last year, isn't it? And the little champ here has had really no ability to stem what's happened against his old side, and again intercept marks in defence. It's been a bit like the under-12s playing against the big boys tonight, and big boys have just dominated them, as you'd expect. Guthrie's kick through the corridor. Look at the hands of Selwood. Such a complete player, Joel Selwood. To Motlop, he's going to take them on. Second bounce, Ablett gives chase. Decides to get boots of ball. Out the back, Dangerfield wants another one. Look at the skill, look at the speed, and look at the goal. 114 points is the margin.
Oh boy, so 5 minutes, they'll probably kick another 4 or 5 goals here, the way it's going. And there's Dodsey, Lingy's wife, and Gary Ablett's wife, Jordan.
Dodsey.
Have a look at that, they know they're on the TV, the girls.
And Lingy, you should sneak up and give that beautiful girl a big kiss.
I'm just surprised Dodsey hasn't got a nice glass of bubbles in her hand there, just relaxing at the footy. Shouldn't she be home looking after the kids?
Oh, come on, Lingy, she's had to have a night out, surely.
I think you go up, like old time's sake, Lingy, you just plant a big kiss on that beautiful girl.
Oh, if they put the love heart around that, the crowd would go, kiss cam.
Dodsey didn't look too happy to be on camera there, bit shaking the head.
14 points here at the moment. This is massive at the moment and building, and 100-point losses. I thought they were a thing of the past with, the ability to get behind the footy and clog things up, that coaches are able to, avoid 100-point smashings these days, but not tonight. And as a coach, you can't afford to have too many 100-point losses. Otherwise, it's very hard to get the players back up and running again. Willis. I'm sure Rodney Eade will want all of the troops that he's got out back as soon as possible to make sure they get on top of this very, very quickly.
They're in the game early too.
Kick forward, Lonigan in front.
Just fell away quickly though.
Snapped by Davis across the face. So they'll be out of bounds to the full. There they go. Martell deciding to wait. No one on the man on the mark, so he can please himself. Goes down the line out wide. Great looking kick. Really good kick to Caddy. Henderson kept the arms free so he could apply that handball. Lang out the loop they go. Remember, it's 114 points here at the moment, and they're going to move forward quite swiftly here if Duncan wants to really pull the trigger and go. I'm not sure what he's waiting for. He had opportunity after opportunity. Enright over the top. They're building. Lang, little ball out wide. Here's Menzel. He'll look to go. Looking for something inside 50. Not there at the moment. Just goes down the line, wanted someone to come at him. Kirsten almost. Ablett fends off, and Gold Coast out of trouble.
Thanks,
yeah, momentarily.
Thank you. Right out.
So this is Rosa.
Right out. Moving on, Matt.
Just always feel like it's only a minute away before the pressure just gets ramped up again. It's what's happened all night. Bartel sets himself. Out the back, Lonigan. Now Caddy, it's just been so uncontested, a lot of it. Really dropped away to nothing, the Gold Coast Suns.
When you allow a team to take 134 marks, it's fair to say you're not putting a lot of pressure on.
Stevie Motlop, they're lining up everywhere. He sees Zach Smith, the one-on-one. Danger's going to launch it. This one, look at the hands. At second attempt, he's marked it. I think umpire has not paid it. The Cats fans aren't happy.
Don't reckon he had first grab at it.
Okay. Selwood, kick round the body, slightly offline.
Stand to be corrected though, but Cats have had 136 more possessions, but they've still out-tackled.
Oh no, could have paid him. What do you reckon, Dars?
Oh, big piece of that. Yeah. I reckon you almost pay that every single time.
Yep. In the pack, here they go. They're reloading again. Now Caddy will have a chance to kick 3 of the last 4 goals here. 25 minutes gone, 2.5 minutes remaining. Looking to record their 5th win of the year. West Coast at this ground next weekend. Caddy lines up and misses to the left-hand side just. 116 points.
Still a couple of minutes left. Sun's through shade. Hands of Lonigan there were good.
Stay there. Moving on.
So looking in the corridor, I'm going to take views on. Ablett to lend some support. Little Master found some space where very few could. Back to Malchesky. We just haven't seen any of this really through the game. It's good link-up play, good ball movement, but the pressure still being applied by the Cats. Hall, he's explosive from 50. Can they get a late goal the other way? The Suns, no, they can't. 115 points.
I'm sure they'll want another here. I'm sure they're not finished with just yet. Lang. Back to Bartel. Bartel deep in that back pocket. As Lingy said, very easy to kick out of bounds on the full from this position. Free kick to Gold Coast will go the way of Lemons, and that's 50. So that'll be a goal. That's 50. Didn't give the ball back directly.
I said free kick Gold Coast.
And a goal.
I love how Chris Scott still not happy. How about the ladder here at the moment? The Scott brothers, Brad and Chris, have never been 1 and 2 on the ladder. Bristol and Richo. They turned 40 on Tuesday, the brothers. They'll have a nice dinner with their mates and they'll be sitting in 1 and 2 on the ladder.
He's genuinely filthy about this 50.
They'll be able to enjoy their 40th. Chris and Brad, both their sides flying at the moment.
Yep, Tuesday is the day, I think, for the boys. Yep. Here is Lemons. And he misses, and of course, a no-go there.
Who do the Suns have next week, BT?
Gold Coast next week have got Melbourne. Melbourne at Metricon, and then GWS after that, you can see.
And they've got Crows and
West Coast.
And West Coast.
By the way,
it's a tough month coming up.
Chris and Brad turned 40 on the same day as our publicity manager at 7, Greg Smith, who coincidentally went to St Kevin's with both of the Scotch boys. Here they go inside 50. Hawkins will give it off. They'll kick it over. 120 points. A king-size shellacking.
And he's had a great night, Kirsten. 4 goals, career high for him. He's an improved player. And that's what you need to go to the next level. Your stars are going to do what they do, but you need players improving underneath, and Kirsten's one of those. And there's the next 4 for the Cats. What a clash that is next week. A couple of big weeks coming up.
He's still moving the magnets around, Scotty. What do you think?
He's relentless, isn't he, Chris Scott? Chris, you better go up the darts. I think that's your natural.
I like the darts.
Your natural calling, I think.
I'm just not good at the maths.
So what a massive result this is. Cats, they've done damage to a lot of sides down here at Simmons Stadium across the journey. And they still want more. Selwood, look away handball was partly intercepted. Zach Smith picked it up off his toes nicely. Bartel scooped it out to Selwood. 15 seconds left. Time for more. Launch from behind. Duncan gave away free kick in the end of Kolajasny. You get great value for your money down here, don't you, if you've supported this great side. And a couple of little boos for the former champ from Geelong, Gary Ablett.
The 34th time that Geelong have won by 100 points or more. A massive 120-point victory to record their 5th win of the year.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be.
The fans are loving this. They will party and celebrate long into the wee hours here tonight and anticipate continued good perform of the Cats. Gary Ablett and Joel Selwood, former teammates of course, having a chat. Lingy, I know you're over the other side of the ground. Talk us through it.
Yeah, they're all pretty happy here, the Geelong boys. I'm going to grab Josh Caddy. He's just catching up with a couple of his ex-teammates. Well, Cads, that just looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. We got a good lead and I suppose cashed in a little bit late and had a bit of fun out there. It's definitely better being on this end than the receiving end, that's for sure. You got to cash in a bit late too, kicking a couple of goals in the last quarter. What happened with the third one? Yeah, I don't know. A bit disappointed. 3 would have been nice, but yes, it was junk time, I suppose. But yeah, it's nice to kick a couple late. You former Suns player, of course. Were you surprised how easy, I suppose, it was? You would have had to work hard to get the results still, but nobody saw this sort of margin tonight. Nah, I feel for the boys though. They've got a lot of good players out. I saw Trent McKenzie went off early, who was important down back. Jager O'Mara, David Swallow. So I didn't expect to win by that much, but they've got a lot to look forward to. Hopefully later in the year for those boys when they come back into the side. So yeah. Well done tonight, mate. Sensational. Great work.
Shot of Trent McKenzie there with that ankle. Josh Caddy very happy tonight. 31 touches for Josh Caddy tonight. Richo, good effort for him.
Yeah, good player, Josh Caddy. Just added real depth through that midfield for them now, as we said. They've had 4 players with over 30 possessions tonight. Cam Guthrie had 29, Mitch Duncan 27, Motlop 26. They were just queuing up.
And Lingy, I think, is down in amongst the Cats players, Lingy.
Well, I've got Tommy Hawkins here. Hawkie, we're just talking to Josh Caddy then about the fact that once you got on top, there was an ability to cash in a little bit towards the end. But in the first half, you had to really work hard and play some good footy.
Yeah, we did. We've seen Gold Coast play some great footy this year, so I suppose the 2016 season is so even, mate. We see upsets. I don't know what happened in the GWS Hawks game, but mate, there's no easy games in footy anymore, and it's fantastic to win by 120 points, and percentage is important come the end of the year. So we're really happy with how we played.
GWS won by about 7. To kick 5 goals in the first half. He did all right, but the team's building nicely now, isn't it? Just starting to hit some real form. It looks like they're gelling together well.
Yeah, look, we knew from the start of the season that we needed time together as a group. Our list has changed over a lot in the last few years, so playing with guys like Paddy and Lockie and Zach, obviously Scooter's going to come into the side at some stage, and these younger guys that are coming through and playing some good footy now. So they're lots of fun, those games to play and win in.
Your eyes starting to light up a little bit too with some of that ball use coming through the middle.
Yeah, certainly, mate. We were all cashing in. I think we had a pretty even spread of goal kickers tonight. So we're getting contributions from the midfield and forward. So, mate, happy days.
Well done tonight, Hall.
Thanks,
Disappointed loss there and a disappointed team leaving the ground in Gold Coast. Geelong absolutely ecstatic at their 120-point loss. Hey, stay with us. We've got all of the coach press conferences coming up on the other side of the break. All of the results from around the country, all of the things that matter in football you are going to see on the other side of the break. Geelong tonight.
I think I've got a bigger smile. His name's Paddy Dangerfield. Danger, what a game tonight. Incredible.
Yeah, it was, Das. It was certainly really tight early on, particularly, I suppose, the first half of that first quarter. But that's probably the first real full 4-quarter effort that we've had. I felt we really strangled the Suns for the majority of the game.
Were you, I suppose you're getting rolling as a group now. Did you sense a game like that coming at any point? We're shocked. We can't believe you won by 120 points. But internally, did you sense that a big game like that was coming for the group?
I think we've been confident in what we've been putting together. We haven't been really consistent, but our best has been quite good. The challenge for us has been so far, we've had an up week and then we've been quite poor the following week. And that sort of stemmed from the clearances. We were really up and down, especially in the first 4 weeks. And I felt like at the moment we've galvanised across that area. Forward line's been really good now. Our back line had been terrific throughout the entire year, but we'd sort of let ourselves down in the midfield a bit throughout the start.
Richo spoke throughout the night. He hasn't seen a dominant centre clearance effort like that before. The numbers were phenomenal, 20 to 6 at one